And we're off. There's DJ Temptation somewhere. I gotta remember to
Somewhere, yeah.
unmute. Okay. There's DJ Temptation somewhere. What's that?
Oh, that's me forgetting to mute the sound.
Oh, I thought that was me or Gary. No, no. He's got a funny thing. I know he's gonna mention it. One of those driving videos I had. I don't know what they're doing with this transit system here. They're butchering this shit into the ground. They're taking routes off of streets where seniors live. You know, somebody's been taking a bus for 40, 50 years, and they got to go way the hell out of their way now. It's sad. They got a little donation from the governor because I think Feds cut 32 million from them. So he gave the system 25,
Mhm.
and they're just. I'm glad I came through it when I came through it because to start working there for a living now is it's not a good thing because that money making potential isn't there anymore like it was for the guy when I got hired. They started they started cutting it down slowly.
Hmm.
So me retiring at 59, it enabled me to retire at 59 with only $200 less a month. So I mean it's worth the 3 years. I'm gonna put some banners up here. What have you been doing all day? Why no show today?
Um, After I helped my sister move and I helped my brother yesterday,
Oh,
the radio show take more energy from me than doing 10 hours live stream. So
yeah, I'd imagine. Especially, it's not like when you're going. It's not like going on the other side of the city. There's what, a half hour round trip.
yeah, I drove 47 miles in 24 hours plus moving.
Well, you know what? When I was driving that bus, oh my God, some days I would drive over 100 miles, but or 150, but that's at an average of 17 miles an hour. That's
Yeah, I'm not talking about American miles. I'm talking about Norwegian miles. That's uh, one Norwegian mile is 10 kilometers.
it's still a lot, but
Yeah,
not,
yeah, yeah, of
not so
course,
much.
of course.
But oh my God, I could drive 90 mile, hour and a half trip for what it took me 8 or 9 to do, and that's like a sloth. Everybody's quiet this week. What's happening in your neck of the woods there? Anything new?
Uh, Nothing to talk about here.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I can imagine. I can almost, not as vividly as you, but still. Oh boy, I gotta put this on. I forgot to turn this on. I'm getting a lot better at coming on, setting it up.
That's good.
Yeah, once a week is enough for me. I mean, goodness. I mean, we were all seeing each other like. I mean, what more could happen from Friday to Saturday or you know Tuesday to Thursday when you have we had a blast when we used to be on the other stream.
Yeah, it can be a little much sometimes.
I keep getting the same call from. Uh, I don't know. It must be a regular mortgage company keeps calling me and wanting to offer me a better rate because the housing market is getting ready to take a huge tumble like it did in 2008. And if all those people that bought those homes, we got to sell right now. If you don't sell right now, you're going to lose big.
I've been listening to Samantha Fox lately.
Samantha Fox, huh? Isn't that a porn star? You've been listening to her, huh? I bet she's going to be the queen of moaning or what?
Queen of oldies soon, I think.
Yeah. Well, you got to look at it this way: that the video never lets you down, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, just make yourself some dinner and a couple of drinks and call it a night. You don't have to wonder what's going to happen because you know what's going to happen.
So I found out that lately that maybe I should just in live streams just start to say sometimes Samantha Fox.
Oh, you know, uh, there was a song I forget who did it. Oh, Rob Zombie, and he had this. I don't know if you know who he is. He had this moaning sound, and it came from that movie with Chevy Chase and God, I forget that actress's name. Kind of sexy looking, Berta, or something. Anyway, it was in one of Chevy Chase's movies. So she had this fake moaning going on. So the guy had it in his song too. Oh, Roberta, cute. I almost had it. A cute little thing. It looked like her mouth was only the size of a button. I forget. Anyway, you got two big screens to watch it on, right?
Yeah,
Different angles. That must be different.
you must see it in perspective.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like watching somebody live. You can look to the left side, the right side, and it's still the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. 5 minutes of bliss, and then
Hey,
you're
guide.
what's up?
Guide is saying, "Hey guys,
Oh,
watching
there.
football at the moment and just lurking to support watch hours."
Just lurking. You waiting for Gary to come on or something? Let's see.
Yeah, good when the football is over, then you don't need to
You
lurk.
can't. You can't be watching football on a Friday. Oh, you coming on later? I promise no activity, no extra activity. Gary said he saw something disturbing in the last driving video I did, and I think I couldn't think of what it was, and then I thought, well, it couldn't be any more disturbing than him watching the video sitting there naked. So,
Maybe it was a dog shitting or something.
oh, you never know. I mean, some people can see something in a picture that other people can't.
Turkey versus Norway. Turkey
Turkey.
lose.
Gobble gobble. Is that their cry? Is that the team name? Do they have a Tom Turkey as a banner? The logo?
World Cup qualifying. Oh,
Man, I missed that. You know what? I never really cared much for European football, and then one of our drivers, a newer guy, was from India, and we started I was on call duty, which means I sat there till somebody didn't come in, then I go out. So we got to watch much of that cup, and we had fun. I was surprised.
Oh,
We had a good time. The Japanese team was doing okay. I think they played England or somebody. I forget. Or somebody. They certainly did, didn't they? But they were running around like mosquitoes up until uh, there are three halves in European football. Three halves or four.
I have no clue.
They were running around. You know, these guys couldn't barely keep up, and then uh, they started tiring, and the other team just took over and just put the beat down on them. You know.
There's two halves. Hi, Tony.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Kiko.
Yeah, I was just over on Simon's.
Over
So
on Simon, what?
Simon has a live stream going on.
Oh,
He's got RC and Michael McFarland over there.
Michael, it's late in the morning for Michael. I guess another 2 hours.
He's been tapping the San Miguel pretty hard this morning.
Well, for him, it's last night, right?
Well, it's 3 a.m. there now.
Well, yeah, he's just finishing up.
It's Saturday morning, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Christian, how you doing? I just watched your little driving around your place video there.
Just
Oh,
now?
okay.
Hey, gear.
Yeah. Here's the anti.
Yeah, those
You
guys.
won your match 2-0 over Jamaica.
I come over here so my ears could get a rest.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you should have a live streams one time of everybody after they've been hitting the sauce for 8 hours. And
No, old RC's going through his Army career and everything about it. So.
Well, yeah. I guess when you haven't done much in your life, I mean, golly, man, I'd have to. Although I gotta say, although the time I spent there at the time, I needed a job, so I went in and all that time working and thinking there'd never be an end to this crap, and then once you get there,
yeah, when you're that young, you think, man, 4 years? I signed up for this stuff for 4 years.
I knew,
like a lifetime,
yeah. I was bitching and moaning the first 3 months, but after that, after I learned what it was all about, it was fun actually. But when I look back at all that stuff, and I've been looking at retirement since I was like 16. I'm thinking about it, where I needed to be and what I needed to do to get there. And now that I got it, and I said I'd be down there at the station to visit, and I haven't done it. It'll be a year in November.
Hey, Tony, I got 3 weeks from today is my last day.
3 weeks from today, huh?
Last work day, yep.
How long you been where you have any length of time where you were? Whatever you were doing?
With my military?
Oh, is it a civil service job?
Federal.
Oh.
37 and a half years.
Yeah. So how long were you in the military?
10.
10?
Yeah.
You had 10 to go and you'd be done with it.
Yeah, but I was in a place where I didn't want to stay. Because at that time it was Clinton coming in saying we're going to do more with less. And I was like, yeah, not me.
Nah.
That I'm doing enough right now. And it would have been worldwide deployable the rest of my career.
Was that GS? Was that GS pay grade? Is that GS or?
No, nowadays they have, we went to the pay bands. So it's alphabetical, A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
Well,
it equates to like 13, okay, on the GS scale.
The higher I think it was G 12 or But yeah, the higher you got, the more money you got.
Right, right.
But back when I was in, there were they put an end to the double dipping because they had a shitload of guys that did their 20 or 25, and then comboed that with the civil service thing, and they were just killing it.
Well, what they do is, I mean, if you're getting a military retirement, you start from day one when you start with whatever agency. So you keep getting your military retirement, but
Oh,
you already
sure.
starts. Or
They
at the
went.
end, you have the option. You can buy back those 20 years of military time, but you
Hmm,
got to pay all the Social Security you would have
yeah.
paid that 20 years.
No.
So once you do that, you can combine.
They didn't want people double dipping no more because they were just freaking. They were living richer than the generals. We had a
Well,
lot of
hey,
guys come in. We had a lot of
there's
guys come in all the time in the afternoon, going to the civil service guys, the post electricians or whatever. They would all come a certain time of the day, have their cup of coffee, and get on with their work. Because I was at a small post there in Illinois, so. But
yeah,
uh, but anyway, in a long way, I once I got here where I am, and it felt like forever. And I look back now, and I'm thinking,
and it
shit, that
flew
wasn't.
by.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's just,
It seemed
I,
bad at the time, right?
it is. Oh, it's freaking horrible. When I would at the job I was at, I'd see all these guys leaving, and one guy he had two minor daughters, and he was collecting about with Social Security and the pension. He was getting in about $6,700 a month, and I'm like, fuck, this guy, this guy drove. He was haggard, smoked a lot, kind of like dipshit, and uh, I saw him like 2 years after he retired, and he got on my bus because he was going down came from jury duty. And the guy looked like he got back 15 years. Because the guy, when he was working there, he worked all the time. But he's reaping the benefits. But I gotta say, when you put in all that time, you miss out on a lot from your life. You know, and some people just they don't. They go through time without having to. I know a lot of people that they didn't think anything of it. They're always like F this, F that. But and they're the ones that are still working, and there is no end for them. I had a cousin that used to like bounce around from job to job. Had a
I mean,
couple wives that had a
I
couple
could,
wives that had good careers, and he sat at home.
yeah, I never could identify with these people who say they love their jobs. I mean, to me, a job is a job. If you like what you're doing, it ain't a job.
Yeah, no matter what you do, it gets fuck. I had 15 years at the factory I was at, and I'm like, man, I gotta get the hell out of here. I forgot the word my father used to use, and I had a girlfriend's father said the same thing about having to do it regardless of whether you like it or not. But I
Yeah,
don't know of anybody that don't you know get tired of monotony.
I
Just
think the best thing that happened was I was like 18 or 19, and I got a job in the steel mill. Right, I quit college because
mm,
this job paid more than I would have made with a 4-year degree. Right, and I got lucky because that place closed down a year and a half after I started working there.
you
When
know
I
what I
started there, all the old timers said, "Oh, you young guys are so lucky. You got a lifetime job," and it lasted a year and a half. But that's what
it,
spurred me on to join the military. After I lost my job there. So
well if I wouldn't have been married at the time. I was married young.
yeah, me too. 20.
I would have I would have had a positive and not negative disposition. Man, you learn to adjust your attitude real quick, But I thought about it around 83 before I got out, and I thought, man, I can go to infantry or artillery or something, make my rank quicker, you know, because some MOSs, there aren't as many, you don't have to deal with if you're in finance and you got too many people above you. But I would have actually done it, but I had a captain that he said, you don't want that shit, and then I didn't do it, but when I went into reserves, I did a year with them, and in a rail unit. I don't even know if they exist anymore, but and some of the guys were in the tanks, and that was pretty cool. I mean, I really didn't. There must have been 10 guys in the supply I was in. I'm the only white guy. So I hear this other sergeant talking shit constantly, and I had a good group of guys. I used to go over use the tank simulator, and I really got into that. Man, I was good at it. But
That was before video games. That was better than video games.
yeah, oh man, I'm telling you, man. When I was inside that thing, these guys were going, "Man, that fucking guy's good, man." I'm like, I could get used to this shit. Because they came out with that M1. Is that A1 or M1? Remember that tank they came out with?
I thought it was M1A1 was the name of it. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
Abrams.
Yeah, and it had more electronic shit in it, and I like them old ones. I like the old ones a lot better. I don't know. I think that kind of turned me off. Computers. I'm like, Jesus, what the hell is that? Computerized back in the early, in the 80s, man. I was like, I didn't know what the hell that meant. But I probably would have went into that if they didn't have that one coming out. I mean, it did a lot of the work for you, but
yeah, I got to the 10-year point. My enlistment was up, my second enlistment, and I was married. I had an 11-year-old son, but I didn't know what I was going to do. But I knew I was getting out, and all these guys, in my unit, they're like, "Oh, what are you going to do, man?" All these lifers that they were afraid of getting a job. I said, "Well, I'm just going to get a job, like everybody else does."
I had good times while I was in there. We had this captain. He was from the reserves. His last name was Leak, and we used to line all our cars up with the trunk lids facing the grass, and we'd all have the same radio station on, the Loop from Chicago, and we'd play frisbee. Get a little high, and then they started testing for that shit, and we started testing for that 80.
Ruined all the fun.
82, I think. I really can't remember what year.
I went in 84, so.
Well, they came. Well, random drug test, and I had this sergeant that turned warrant officer, and he didn't. The fucking guy was, a gun like a lifer, real suck ass kind of dude, and he sent me in, and I just got partied the night before. And I thought, fuck, because I had a friend that got busted from E4 down to E1 and had to go to a retraining brigade.
You thought,
is that out in Kansas City or somewhere in Kansas? I don't know. And he came back because he was going to make a career of it. So he's willing to start over. We had a guy there that was the E5 that was stuck there forever because Max's name was, I guess, when he was a drill sergeant, he got busted with a trainee, banging a trainee chick. So that kind of ended his deal because he got passed over so many times. There's no way they were ever going to give him 6. But I met a lot of good people, man. Had a lot of good times, you know.
You know,
It was
well,
kind of,
in fact, tomorrow I'm going to go see a guy who I haven't seen in 30 years. I was stationed with him in Okinawa, Japan.
hmm.
He had a Filipino wife. He's 67 years old. She died like 5 years ago, I guess. So
Oh yeah.
he's a widow now. He's living in Nebraska, but I haven't seen him in 30 years, and he's visiting back home to Pennsylvania because he's originally from here.
You know
So
what?
we got it together like on Facebook, and he said, "Hey, I'm going to invite you over Saturday. We're having a family party, but any my sister said anybody stationed with me is family. So I'm going to have my wife cook up some lumpia and pancit, and I'm going to go over and see him after 30 years. You know,
You know what it's gonna be like? You're gonna. I would have never imagined it while I was younger, but you're gonna be the same way you were then. Only you got your body's different. Your
oh
hair's
yeah,
different.
yeah, your mind's still the same. It's just
Yeah. I
your
mean,
body's drooping.
well, I'd like to think there was one thing you learn is when you don't make the same mistake twice. You know, and if nothing's taught you anything, I mean, at least to have accomplished that. You know, I
At
mean,
least now we can see the train wreck coming. You know,
yeah.
we know it's
But
going to happen. We can see it coming.
I
But you can't tell young kids that. Just like us when we were young.
well,
You know,
sure.
our old folks, they said, don't do it. Don't do it. But what we do? We did it.
Yeah, I got fucked up. Well, that was the best way for me to learn. Fuck up first and then go. You know,
Yeah, yeah. You learn from your mistakes.
for some reason, I just had to do it the wrong way to see what wrong felt like.
I'll tell you,
And
my next oldest brother, man, he pushed my dad to the limits many times. He always had to press the envelope, you know. And I told him, I said, you dummy, you know you're going to get your butt beat. But he'd do it anyway, you know.
well, I when I got older with my dad was good. You know, he's still my dad. You know, it still bothers me, but he was an a hole, man. He wasn't what his son needed. You know, I needed more than what he did or didn't do. I don't know, but he, oh man, you know, I used to have to beg him to go play pitch and catch. He would, so my kids benefited from that bullshit, but it still doesn't help me. You know, it
You
does.
know, I never did that with my father. See, he had me when he was, what, 37. So he was pretty, you know, he was a good bit older. But I never, you know, played any ball. But I had two older brothers, and I had a whole neighborhood, you know. So we played every kind of sport, whatever season it was, we were out there playing. So it's
Something.
not, I didn't need that from my dad. You know, he was a
Well,
hard worker and
I
provided
had
for us.
I had no brothers. All the cousins I had, they lived all over the place. I only had three sisters, so kind of on my own, you know. So it's just like what being on your own quite a lot, and then you then all of a sudden he wants to say or do something, and it's like, well, where the fuck were you before? You know, I don't need this shit now. You know, but the finality of it all once they're gone, it's a real it's for me it was difficult. Yeah, but you know, maybe I can know how fucked up it was for me in next life, maybe if there is one, and then I get it right. You know, enjoy my life. But it never turned me into an alkie or nothing like that. But
Yeah.
man,
My dad never drank. He couldn't drink two beers before he'd be happy, you know. So
my, my, I think my dad used to like have brandy and coke once in a while when he went bowling. Other than that, he didn't touch it because he told me that in my youngest auntie, her husband's 79 now. I think she's 75. She got a 15-year-old. She's 75. I mean, not a 50. She had her first baby when she's 15, and with the same guy. They've been together all those years. And he used to ask my grandpa go for a ride. My grandpa worked in construction, so he was always drunk. And my dad, you know, when I went in the army, and I was 19, 18, and I go, man, now I can sit in and get fucked up with my dad, you know. And he came down to the post one weekend, and I'm like, well, what the hell's wrong with you? Why don't you want this or that? He goes, well, I had my time. because my grandfather worked construction. His body was shot. He was fucked up, and he would sit at the bar and just drink all the time. If you ever wanted to know where he was down at the bar,
Yeah.
But he died at 63. So I worked with a civilian guy, and he told me I was always at the Ratskeller, the bar down. It was the basement of the officers' club, and he told me Glenn Bosaw was his name. I don't know why I remember it. He lived in Evanston, southern part of the state, and he said, you don't want to be like me, you know." And he used to add tomato juice to his beer all the time. I think it was.
Oh yeah, my dad did that. Well,
What
if he
the?
did have a beer, he'd put one of those little, like, 4 or 6 ounce cans of orange or tomato juice and dump
Yeah,
it in there. I
I
hate
forget
tomato
why.
juice.
I
I know.
forget why.
I guess they like the taste or something, but I never
Well,
did.
Glenn was an alcoholic. That's why he said what he said to me. He he would only go home every other weekend. He'd sleep at the mess hall in a back room somewhere, and everything was cool till somebody else had a boner for him, and then they blew that out. I mean, everybody. He had this thing. He'd been doing it for I don't know how long. At the time I knew him, he had to have been early 60s, and that's the guy that told me. And I said, well, I never planned on doing this all the time anyway, but I was 19 years old, so what do 19-year-olds do? Freaking drink all the time, or not all the time, but
Yeah, I
I,
mean, and that's why you learn and you grow up, and you don't
yeah,
do those things. But
you know what?
you keep doing that all your life, it takes its toll.
Yeah, I I worked first shift in the first job I had, and I went out with these guys till like 10 o'clock, but we were effed up big time. And that was the last time I ever did that. I couldn't, I thought, and I was 18 then, and I thought to myself, there's no way, I can't hang. I'm young, but I had my
Yeah,
head on the fire, and that was enough. That was one time for me, and I never did it again.
when
If
I
I,
worked a steel mill at 19, and we'd work midnight shift, midnight till what, 7, 8 in the morning, and then these guys would go straight to the bar, you know, and I
I,
was technically underage because I was at that time it was 21, for our state, but I'm walking in with all my coworkers, and everybody in the bar knows all the guys, so they just figure I'm one of the guys. So,
I,
but yeah, it gets old quick.
I tried it once on third shift. That wasn't any freaking better. It was almost worse. And
But back in those days, when the steel mills were running around here,
mm,
those bars were open 24 hours a day.
yeah, in Illinois here they close whatever the normal time. But in Illinois, depending on what part of the state you were in, each county or city had a different ordinance than the other. And we would go in one. I think it was called. It was on Rock. I think it was 88, Rocket 88. I think it was a road between Wisconsin and Illinois. We go in there at night, blackout, and we're drinking, and that place is open until 6 in the morning. And you go out, and that sunlight hits your eyes. It's like, oh, you instantly feel like a vampire.
All right.
But I had my good time, and I did not have my children suffer because of my when I did have my good time. That's one thing. That's one thing I never have done. I never will do. Some people would rather sit at the end of that broken bottle than do what's required of them.
Oh yeah.
Because there's nothing shittier when you're a kid. The kind of guy my dad was, he 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 came to one track meet I had, and he came to one, and I had that nerve canal problem then, but I didn't know about it. and one football game. In the track meet, I was ahead. I had a half a track lead coming around the fourth turn, and my body, I'd want to move, but I couldn't move. My body would just it it wouldn't go anymore. I didn't know what a nerve canal was back then. I don't even think they had a way for checking it. I don't know.
Right.
But anyway, when I was at that race, and the guy, I end up, I don't know if I finished second or third, and I turn around and I see and I look and I just happen to see my dad there. He throws up his hands with this pissed off look, like what the fuck. And that was the last straw with me. When he did that, I thought, fuck him. I never inquired about help, being in something or having him be around me for any of that, because he still didn't get it when he was older. He didn't, and I didn't rub it in his face though, but my sister did. But you only get one childhood, man. When that's fucked up, it's fucked up.
Yeah. Well, my older kids, I was out of their life at when they were young. Not my oldest boy. He was 15. When it split up. But the younger ones, it's I always thought, well, when they're 18, they have a choice. If they want to get to know me, it's up to them. But I don't hear from them hardly at all. So
Yeah, I don't. My oldest one will be 41 pretty soon. She, I talked to her once in a while, but my grandson had COVID and he got over it, and he's 23 now. And my oldest daughter, I used to talk to her a lot more than I do now. But one time she said, "I love you" on the phone, I didn't hear her right. And she got kind of pissed because I didn't say it right away. But the second one, her and I think I was like my dad was to me. I was like that with her, and she never talks to me. The last time I saw her, I went out there, and last time I saw her was in 2000, maybe 12, 14 years ago. Got a beautiful little baby, but she's the kind of person, she would rather go out and have a good time than to look after her daughter. And
it,
she didn't get that from me or her mother, because we weren't like that.
yeah. Well, I think mine just got one side of the story, and
Uh,
they just for whatever reason, I moved 1,000 miles away, but every summer I drive that 1,000 miles to pick them up, bring them back with me for summer,
mm.
3 weeks, whatever, and
what
then drive them all the way back and come,
what
1,000 miles back.
what state
So
were they in?
Oklahoma,
Oh wow, that's a long ride, bro.
yeah, I do it 17, 20 hours, do it straight, pick them up, sleep, and then drive all the way back myself, with them,
Yeah, I'm not.
and did it every summer till they were old enough to fly, and then I'd fly them. You know.
I think my oldest two were 5 and 3 when they left the state. Their mother went down to Texas, and I didn't realize it. I think I did, but I thought, less responsibility if she takes them out of state. But she had to get my permission, but she never did, and I didn't bitch about it. I was like 20, 23, maybe. I don't even know, three, something like that, and I wouldn't complain. So, but every birthday and every Christmas, I would send them something, and I don't know where they got. I think my second daughter probably they've all been married twice. I think my second daughter's been married on her third marriage, like me, and I think that her failures or whatever in life, she uses me as a cop out.
Yeah.
But I can honestly say, me and her, when it came down to parenting, being a good parent, I was there. I didn't compromise that. And
And I think with us, we're older. Our worldviews are much different, you know, and
well,
they're going along with what's normal today. And for you and I, that ain't normal. So we just have different views.
yeah, we do. But you can't see stuff clearly if you're always fucked up. You know,
Right. That's
if
true.
if having a beer or a drink is on your mind before anything else, you know,
Yeah,
you
you
know
kind
it's
of
going to
lost
go
it already
through.
before you even started.
Yeah. My first wife was out of town. I think she came up here, and I was down in Illinois, and I had my oldest daughter, with me, and everybody loved her, Judy. And now she's just like her mother. She could do whatever. She could turn shit into fucking gold. I mean, they got a gift for selling shit.
Jump in a
So
pile of manure and come out smelling like roses. Huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She didn't went to college, but she's had her own businesses, and she works for one now that contractors, they go over after contractors that don't pay their bill, and they'll offer them a little. They'll let them off a little cheaper if they pay it at this price right away, you know. And they call it giving them a haircut.
Like
Which
collection
she,
agencies or something.
yeah, well, kind of, yeah. And then she was making a lot more money uh, being one of them, but then now she's the manager, so she doesn't make as much as they do. But I'd take her down to the lakefront, and the people from my post were partying, and everybody wanted to see her, especially the girls. So they would pass her around, and it would take a while. And when she came back to me, it was time to leave. Because she needed her diaper changed, and I already had enough. I didn't need to go beyond the beers that I had. So that's the difference between me and somebody that can't control their stuff. I know other people can do it. I just can't see it. You know what I mean? If it's in you, then it's in you.
Do you
But
ever hear of these people that forget their child in a hot car? Now,
oh,
how
well,
can you forget your child in the back seat of your car when you
that's
go in
bullshit.
to go grocery shop? Now, did any child you've ever had, your first priority is that child. And
Hell
you
yeah!
got them with you. How do you forget them in a back seat and they end up dying from the heat because you
It,
went in a
it
store or a bar or something? I mean,
it's
that's
real. It's real easy when they get fucked up.
Might
Uh,
be drugs or alcohol.
yeah, for folks like us, we can't imagine. Oh,
yeah, it's unthinkable. I mean,
but
that's always the first thing on your mind. Your whole
but
life when you're a parent, that's the whole thing on your mind.
but if that's you, if that's you, and your kids there, ah, the only thing you have to say when somebody asks you is, I don't, I didn't, I forgot about them. That you'd be better off not saying nothing, because it's so freaking unbelievable. It's bullshit. That's what it is. You don't forget. You just didn't care enough.
Yeah, you didn't care from the beginning. So,
Yeah, put them in prison, and put them in solitary, and forget about them for a couple of years, and see how they like the mental fucking torment. That is the ultimate bullshit. It's just I can't think that way. I can't think. I can't put myself in that position of somebody that says something like that and actually expects people to believe it. You know. Um,
I mean, I've been a father since I was 20 years old, and I can't imagine
yeah, me
not
too.
having that being the first thing in my mind
Oh,
my entire life.
mine was where can I park where I can open that side of the car to get her out without fucking somebody's car up. That's what I'm thinking about when I get into the parking lot. I'm not thinking about 6 hours from now that I'll be all fucked up and end up at somebody's house, something stupid like that. That's incredible. Some people do it, man. Some people are poor parents, and kids go out and get knocked up young. You know, they have no idea, man. When you're that young, when you're young, you have no. Oh my God, life sucks enough. It's.
It's hard enough when you're 20, let alone less than that.
Yeah, I was. My oldest daughter was born 10 days after I turned 19, I think. Yeah. So she's got two boys, and one of them thinks like I used to. He when he was 14, they came up here a couple of years ago, and that was about. Damn, I think he's 16 now, or 17, and he had this plan. Both of them looked like her at one stage of her, childhood, and my youngest son's there, the little guy, and at that time I think he was 3. And I said, you realize that's your uncle right there. And he was telling me that he had his life planned out already. What he was gonna. He had all this family thing and all this other stuff, and I told his dad, I said, you better have a talk with him because it's not as easy as he's imagining. You know, they're both bright enough to do it. To have make a good living doing something. Uh, my daughter now is she's not married anymore. Well, she's not married anymore. She lives with her boyfriend. They live in Dallas.
Yeah, I got
When I
my
was,
son. My oldest one's in Arlington, right outside of
oh,
Dallas.
how old were you? Yeah, she bought a house with him. I think. I said, "Would you fucking just buy it on your own, man? You don't."
Yeah.
What? How old were you when you became grandfather for the first time?
Let's see. My oldest grandson is 16, so 44.
Oh, yeah, I was 36.
40, 43, 44, something like that.
I was 36, man. I go to this bar I went to after work, and I worked second shift, and went there on Wednesdays and Sundays, and Sundays for the games always. And I was talking about kids, and yeah, my kids do this and that. They're young, and I said, well, I'm talking about my grandson. I saw him a couple times. It's a different feeling, that's for sure.
Well, see, I only got to know one of my mom's dad. That's the only grandparent I ever knew because the other three were dead by the time I was born.
Oh, for me, my mom's dad died when she was 15. And, I'm not looking good on this heart thing, man. I think I'm along the lines of my grandmother's. She had multiple issues when she died at 61, and uh,
Well, my
I,
my dad made it to 78, and my mom just 3 days ago celebrated her 97th birthday.
ooh, my
But
gosh,
I got my dad's genes. I got a next oldest brother who died at 65,
Phew.
8 months after he retired,
your father died how long ago?
19 years ago.
No, she's been on her own for that long. Huh?
Yeah. Well, we lived with her
Well,
up until 14 years ago. So we lived with her for 5 years, you know,
mm,
and, uh, and then we moved because we had our third child. The house just wasn't big enough for the rest of us anymore. So,
yeah,
but yeah, she's
my,
been on her own for the last 14 years without
my
anybody.
mother. Oh, this is my mother. My mother and my aunt are only two left out of 10.
Yeah. Well, of course, I think my mom had what she have, 7 or 8 siblings, and she's the last survivor. I think 3 younger ones have died. So,
My dad's mom's family was 11, and my dad was telling me one of his uncles, one of her brothers, he was 28 or 29 when he died, or something like that. The kind of person he loved. He liked everybody, and anything. enjoyed life. And I forget what killed him, but her dad was 54 when he died. And then her brother, the junior, Celeste Jr., I always thought that was a girl's name, but
Yeah, well,
he,
with Italians, I guess
well,
that's a common name.
my grandmother's side of the family, their last name was Beber, probably Austrian or German, but that, that could have happened 100 years ago, that name always stays with you no matter what.
Yeah, you're
But
like me. I had a ton of aunts and uncles and cousins.
you know what? None of us were ever close, man. It was like after grandma's died, it was it. My mom's mom was 92 when she died. My dad's dad was 63, and my grandma was 61. And I remember sitting there at my grandmother's wake. You know what? When you're a kid, you always think the older people die first. So I see this old lady up there. I said, "Hey, mom, who's that? Who's that old lady over there?" I go, "Oh, that's grandma's mom." And it just blew my mind. I was like
Yeah, that
11
ain't
years
supposed to
old.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I was 11 years old. I go, she lived 2 years longer than my grandmother did, and she was 80. Shit, she was upper 80s. So my dad's side, the brother and sister, my grandfather there, they're 79, and one was 70, 71. My aunt Ida lived in Pittsburgh a lot, or not in Pennsylvania. Uh, Never knew nothing about my great grandfather's brothers. I found out through ancestry. But here's the thing: my grandfather's dad was 85, and he was 63 when he died. My dad was 85, and my great grandmother was 70 something. So, but my dad's mom's side, they got all these weird heart things, problems. Every time I complain about the guy, I go, "Oh, you're fine." Well, shit, I don't feel that way.
I think
But
my mom.
if I were this is why I told this guy to check my arteries, the doctor, because I went in there for a stress test once. He said that was fine, but if I could have normal blood pressure right now, and I gained a couple points when I turned 60, 5 more, and I said I could eat. I went out and ate with my mother last week on my birthday, and after I got done eating, I could feel it. You know,
Yeah.
I could feel it, and I checked my blood pressure, and I got home, and my pulse was up above 110, and the heart rate was high, and then later on that day, probably 8 hours later, it went back down. But I already take Lipitor and all that shit right now. But
Remember when we were young, the old folks, they say, "Well, how'd he die?" And they'd say, "Oh, hardening of the arteries." So I don't know what they meant by that, but
well, what they meant by that was that plaque, you gather what's called plaque in your arteries, and when you eat all that shit, it takes this tube circle in it, and it makes it smaller. It's narrower,
that's
and
why people nowadays need stents put in,
yeah,
because of that plaque.
angioplasty or something. Because I'm sure there are other experts out there. Usually, what's his Knobshine knows a lot about that. Um, but there's no flexion in your artery anymore. It's kind of like a solid. So I take what I take to cut down on that. And I'm telling you, there's this doctor called the Motivational Doc on YouTube here, and you can get all of this natural stuff to take that will help you out immensely. So I take my extra virgin olive oil on an empty stomach uh, in the morning, and then I have my apple cider vinegar with 1 cup of water 3 times a day.
Really? So
So that, yeah,
that
well,
olive oil, is
my
that straight? You drink that? How
no,
much?
no, don't ever do that shit straight, man.
Olive
Holy
oil.
cow.
What do you put it with?
Oh, that, yeah, that. But you get used to that nasty.
But how much?
Um, 1 tablespoon.
I remember
You
my mom
think it?
used to
You
saying,
think it? You think it would help if I find a 20-year-old extra virgin lady?
Extra virgin lady, sure, man. You could. That might help you feel good about it when you do bite the bullet.
yeah, might die
but
trying, huh?
but these are natural remedies that will help you help clear, and keep them clean. You know.
I
And
remember my
it,
mom, she always said the old time they used to drink cod liver oil. You ever hear that?
oh, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. I had these visions of shitting all the time. Oof. But I tell you that this guy, all this info you can get is free. You don't have to wait till something goes wrong.
What's his name?
Motivational doc. His
Yeah,
doctor's Dr. Mandel. I forgot his first name. I forget, but
but his
um,
YouTube is called Motivational Doc.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. I mean, there's these other doctors starting to get on board with this, but you're not going to get that shit. You're only going to, when you see your doctor, is the only time that he's going to tell you that whether, from your blood test or whatever, that what's what. So why wait? Why wait all that time? I mean, a bottle of, I do one tablespoon in the morning for the heart, and then I do one before I go to bed for the intestinal system because my stuff doesn't process like it should.
The
So
only
that
thing
makes
I take is a statin for my I had high cholesterol.
Torvastat. Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah,
Torvastat.
40 milligrams a day.
But I'm telling you, Kiko, here's what this newer one I learned. I do the apple cider vinegar 2 times a day with 1 tablespoon with 1 cup of water. And after when I take my medicine, I give it time to work before I do something else because I don't know if I'm doing it, if I'm taking away from its efficiency,
So you
So
still take the statin, but you do this other stuff.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, because I'm telling you, man, I went in, I got this, I like that Ready Whip, and I went like that. I had, over Christmas, I had like two. My blood pressure was 92 over 52. And I went shopping. I almost fell out because it was going too slow, so
Yeah, that's low.
yeah, it is. Well, fuck, I was barely, keeping my eyes open, and I thought, shit, I didn't, I don't know, man. Now that I do all these other things, that leads me to believe that I had some kind of blockage because just from doing that one time, shouldn't be doing what it's doing.
What
But
did you say you ate? You ate something, or what was it called?
the Ready Whip,
What
artificial,
is?
well, fat and shit in it.
I don't know what that is.
Ready Whip. You ever had that on your pumpkin pie at
Oh,
Thanksgiving?
it's like Cool Whip, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Only it's better. But doing that one time shouldn't do what it did, you know. So
Why
that's
does it have a lot of sugar in it or something? What's
man, I forget what the hell. It's got everything that ain't good for you. I forget exactly what it's got.
I never eat that stuff on pie.
But if you get up, this is what you do in the morning. And all of these things I'm talking about are like $5. It's like $5 for five and some change for extra virgin olive oil and Bragg. It's called Bragg. That's the brand name of the apple cider vinegar. And in the morning, I take. I went and got that old lemons. You can do your own lemon juice. And the first one I take in the morning is for the gut, for the weight loss. It's 1 tablespoon, two cups of water, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And after you drink that, it kind of keeps you from wanting to eat all the time.
You mix that all together.
Yep, mix it all together. I put the water in first, and then I put the other two in there, and then that's at about. I take my blood pressure and all that shit at 8 o'clock. All the other meds. Then I take the Lipitor a half hour after that, because that's extra for my, not Lipitor, atorvastatin I got for my,
Atorvastatin. Yeah.
no, I got, I'm getting ahead of myself. I got this, it's the, what is it? The generic version of, generic for, Carfate? Carfate? It's 1 milligram. It's 1 gram. It's added protection for my ulcer, because if I don't take these things in order, the other 2 days ago, I mixed it up, and I ate something that when I drank my apple cider vinegar, it burned my stomach real bad, and it wasn't straight; it was diluted. But I need that extra for my stomach because
Yeah, when I had a colonoscopy done, the doctor there, he recommended I've used a mixture of it's Metamucil fiber, it's some kind of laxative, one part that, and then something else, more fiber. So, but yeah, it keeps you regular, keeps you smooth. So, I've never been constipated in my life that I know of. So.
my system, I guess, like my father's, and it just doesn't do what it's supposed to do, you know. And now I can get it all out of me now.
So the ulcer, is that in your stomach, you said?
Yeah, oh yeah, man, bad too, boy. I got to take them two things because all of a sudden I had a bleeding ulcer, and after a couple of weeks I went to the hospital, and I didn't want to wait for an appointment. I wanted it here and now because I've been thinking about it and it kind of scared me. So I go, and the doctor says, so what? You just thought you'd come down here? I thought, wait a fucking minute here. You know, I've been having this for a couple of weeks and it scares the shit out of me. So I come in here. Now, if you don't like, you're making money off of me, so go be the doctor. Because I know you guys ain't got no problem with fucking my insurance company out of any money, or me either, for that matter.
Are there any things you eat that disturb you? Like probably tomato sauce, like stuffed pizza or
Yeah,
spaghetti
well,
sauce. Does that bother you?
when I not since I've been taking this meds, I can eat those, but anything in moderation within reason is okay. I just I took them in a different order, and when I didn't take that extra med for my gut, um, that burned like you wouldn't believe. I could feel it all the way up, you know, in my chest, and so I do
Is that what
everything
they
in
call
order.
acid reflux? Is that
Yeah,
what?
yeah. I got what's called Barrett's esophagus, so it's a thin lining as it is. And my doctor, I didn't know I had that, and he said my lining is so thin that I could get throat cancer very easily if I was drinking mixers all the time from the acid. And my father, as a matter of fact, when he died, they couldn't even do a tube like that because the stuff was coming right back up. So that first one in the morning, I'm telling you, man, if you want to lose any weight, plus it's healthy for you. This guy's got so much information that he
Why don't
gives
you
out for.
that little recipe you make? Why don't you type that in the chat for me? I'll
What's
write it
that?
down.
Oh,
Just type it in the chat. Whatever you mix the extra virgin olive oil with something else. You said, or
uh,
just a teaspoon of that, or something, tablespoon.
no, that's by itself.
First thing in the morning.
Yeah,
And then the apple cider vinegar with water and lemon juice later.
yeah. It's gotta be what it's gotta be is it's gotta be first on an empty stomach.
Right. Do you ever drink
So
coffee in the morning or anything?
not anymore. I mean, 1 cup a day would be good, black,
That's all. That's
because
all I ever drink. 1 cup in the morning. That's a
it
decaf. I don't
opens.
even drink with caffeine in it.
I've had a headache before, and I went in there when I was in there for my blood pressure med when I first got that going. And the guy was talking. I said, I had a freaking I had this headache, but I drank coffee and it took it away. And he explained to me what it does. It opens up whatever the vessels, blood vessels are called, and that's good for you.
In your head, huh?
Yeah, and it's like anything else in excess is too much. It's overkill. But if you can limit yourself and have enough,
No, I can't even drink regular coffee because it gives me the jitters. My nerves. I can feel
well,
it. I get shaky.
I buy Folgers half calf. It's half caffeine,
No, I just buy total decaf.
and it's better on your stomach. Um, so I mean, you could have that. There are so many different things this guy's got on there. These natural remedies. I was chomping on that slices of ginger for a while, and I burned my throat up on that shit. Oh, so I stopped doing that, and I just you can take also with that 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, the 2 cups of water, and the 1 apple cider vinegar tablespoon.
Now,
You can take a slight.
do you
You can
do
take
you eat stuff for breakfast?
after I do all that. Some of these remedies you have to eat. You have to take while eating, but the ones I'm telling you about, you don't.
That's on an empty stomach.
Yeah, and you get a little root, of ginger, and because I was chewing this shit raw, and that's too much. Anything like that. So you take a slice of that. Ronald was telling me this part. Take a slice of that ginger and leave it sit in your whatever you're drinking for a couple of minutes, and then it adds to a lot of positive things for you also. But
Yeah,
about
what's
all
that?
these things,
That concoction he has in the bottle, all that stuff mixed together.
cool.
Ronald, how it's like the
Yeah,
ginger and
you,
all that other stuff.
you could have powder cayenne or whatever. Yeah. Yep. That you watch this guy. He's got every single one of them, man. I mean, this guy. He's telling you shit that your doctors won't even that you're not going to even know about. You know, from your doctors.
Yeah, because they want to push the pharmacy stuff.
Well, sure they do. I mean, but this dude, I don't know why. I mean, he must make a ton of cash. Probably nothing near what he makes per year at the
Well,
hospital.
that
But
that atorvastatin, I don't even pay on. I don't even have a copay when I pick that up. I get a 90-day supply. There's no charge.
no, mine's I got a copay on mine. I have my mail order now. But these two them couple of things I'm talking about are all around in the $5 range. If not a five and a half. The apple cider vinegar, the extra virgin olive oil, and
So do you
shit.
actually feel better since you've been doing that?
You do, but you're only gonna feel better if you change your diet too, because it's you can do these things and there's a difference, but it's not going to be as much of a difference. If you start treating yourself right, drinking tea. There's all kinds of different tea, black tea, green tea, and you get away from soft drinks
No, I don't
like
drink any. I don't drink any sugared
like
sodas
dish
anymore.
dish
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, you know what's hard to find. What's hard to do it for me is all these years that I was smoking, and now I don't. And now I got it. Now I got the Buddha belly, and it
Good.
it it's hard sometimes to occupy your time. You know what I mean? When your whole world is used to revolve around on having that cigarette or that
But
beer.
even if you take away all the sugar, you take away all the bad things you can eat or drink or anything, you will one day die.
Oh, sure, but these things are healthier for you to help to get as much out of it as you can get.
When I passed 80, I don't see any more purpose to
Well,
be here.
but you got to get there first. Some people
Yeah,
don't need. Some people don't need anything, you know. But it different strokes, I guess. But I can definitely feel the difference.
Yeah, but if I stop eating what I'm eating now and go over to eating only healthy, um, even with or without extra virgin olive oil or the um, vinegar stuff,
Mm.
I would feel different.
You know what? If you come from a family, which I do on both sides, and there's some heart disease there, and for me to think, you know, I know there's something there because, like I said, when I if I eat like I ate the patty melt there when I went out with my mother,
Mhm.
I could feel the difference. And my blood pressure was up. It was all way up. So I know it to me we're different anyway, but you could do the same thing as me and not feel like me. But I just want for me based on that family history. I'm trying to get as much out of it as I can.
Yeah, yeah,
Whether it's for you or not is up to you. But for me, I can only speak for myself. And it's not to say that I won't be doing a bad thing or two once in a while when I drink this or I eat the pizza, but every little bit helps. But
that's a,
the guy also said that some of these things you have to take while eating. So if you like oatmeal, but it's got to be straight. You can't have any sugar and shit on it. For but I just mentioned that doctor to him because it's invaluable information. You just can't put a number on that. You know.
yeah. I understand what you're saying. I just try to say also that even if you try to live as healthy as you can, sometimes it's good to take a break and do something else, so you don't feel like it's how to
Monotonous,
say.
monotonous. Get the same thing, boring over and over and over.
Yeah, yeah. And never feel that you have any enjoyment, just the old same shit
Well,
every time, you know.
there are more than just the three main things I'm talking about right now. They're not only it's not only those things. Those are just some of them. I mean, I could get uh, yeah, juicers too, man. When you get all these fruits together and little ginger bananas, all of that. Um, there's different ways of being healthier,
Yeah, yeah,
and I sucking the olive oil is drinking that's nothing because it's just one bottle from bottle to mouth, and the lemon juice is in a bottle, and I put it in a tablespoon. There's nothing that it's not going to take a shitload of time out of my day to do these things, and they're already made for me. They're natural, So I
yeah.
mean,
I'm not very fond of lemon. People have lemon in beer, lemon in that, lemon in the food.
Corona, yeah. Well, you know what? I there are so many benefits that come from one piece of fruit, or one vegetable. There's so many. I mean, I would hate to have. I'm getting kind of tired of doing the same routine every day, but it maybe I'll change it up. You know,
Yeah, Tony,
drink
there's a Philippine plant called what's moringa or something,
moringa.
green leafy thing. It's supposed to have everything you need. Yeah, Ronald
Peanut butter
knows about it.
itself. Peanut butter's got every nutrient you need. I guess that's what I've been told.
I love peanut butter.
I do too. Dark chocolate, but
I
like
like
anything else,
milk
hey,
chocolate.
what my problem is when I get something that tastes good like that and it's good for you, I overindulge. Then then it kind of turns me off and I don't do it anymore. So I'm just trying to. I know the guy went to school for cardiology and shit, but I know what I think I know more about my heart than he does.
My wife makes banana bread, and I have her put chocolate chips in it. Oh man,
I love
is that
banana.
good?
Oh
You
yeah.
got to try it with milk chocolate chips. Oh, that's her sneezing.
Uh-oh. Did that inflate your tummy alone, did it?
She's
But
allergic to me.
um you know, most people get to a point in their life where all these things that never wore them down before, you know, um
Yeah,
all
it
of a
just
sudden
all
start.
catches up to us. Yeah,
Yeah.
catches up to us.
But I'm telling you, the bet for me personally, for the way it's been for me, every day when I was smoking, I'll do it tomorrow, and then be searching what cigarette. I used to take a couple of puffs and just throw it down on the floor out in the garage or whatever. Yeah, oh shit, man, I gotta get that back, you know.
I think it's been
And
like 9 years since I stopped. Nine.
I, I, I just woke up one day and I said that I just didn't do it anymore. You know, I had enough. You know, I didn't have to go on being hypnotized. I didn't have to go to no fucking classes or take any Nicorette gum or any
Yeah,
or vape.
I think it started about what 13 or 14 for me.
I mean, you know, no, now I have my sense of smell back, man. I don't. I can't even stand being around myself when I'm farting, man.
I don't have a sense of smell. I haven't since my nose was broken at 13 years old.
There you go. Hey, my cousin's got a little. He got in a fight when I was 12 and he was 13. He's got this little, yeah, the big old Italian nose.
Yeah,
But he's got
and
this little,
he's got a ski bump on it.
yeah, he's got a little bump on it, and
Little mogul.
it came from a kid that his fist came straight down on him, his nose like that.
Well, mine, I got a forearm. We were playing flag football, and I was on the line, and the defensive guy just come up with a forearm and just smashed my nose. It severed all they're called olfactory nerves up in the bridge, where your eyeglasses sit,
Yeah.
and it just severed those nerves. I can't smell ammonia. Like they put smelling salts under your nose. I can't smell a skunk, a fresh skunk. I can't smell
Ooh. Well,
anything.
you don't want to
Nothing.
either.
Right. I mean, there's good things and there's bad things about it.
You know
I
what?
missed my calling. I should have been a sanitation engineer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You'd never.
Should have cleaned
Everybody
out
else.
septic tanks or something.
Yeah. There are things. If you like, people like to drink every day, all the time, every day, and uh, it does affect it. I mean, to me, you don't get to this part in your life like the age we are, and just say fuck it. You know,
Yeah.
you
It's
just
funny
don't.
because my kids they can get out of the car. Driveway is only about 40 feet from our door. And kids can get out of the car and they can tell what mom's cooking for dinner, right? And I don't know until you put it right in front of me. If I was blind, I wouldn't know what I was eating.
Man, you wouldn't be able to smell you wouldn't be able to smell the smell of good steak being cooked or
But I don't kill myself with the nasty farts either. So
uh,
I clear the rest of them out of the room.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, my oldest son, when he was little, he used to freaking gag and shit. But anyway,
I mean, those new baby diapers, I mean, changing them, the look of it turned my stomach, but I couldn't smell, so it didn't matter.
when I've had 5 kids, and I don't know of a human being that get used. If there's somebody says they get used to it, you're full of shit because
Yeah.
that that shit is rancid, man. Oh,
Yeah, fresh newborn stuff. Oh,
baby shit. I equate to it's only a notch below dog shit or dog farts. It's just it's like the worst smell imaginable, you know. But I don't have that. I don't have those problems. Thank goodness. I don't have those other
I've been told by people that chicken coops smell the worst.
chicken.
Chicken coops, if you got to clean out the chicken
Well, my
coos.
mom. My mom grew up like that up north, the UP in Michigan. Uh, Pigeon coop. I don't know about that one. You'd have to ask Simon.
I told you a story when I was a teenager. I had an old pickup truck, and me and my buddy would get odd jobs. Well, one of them was cleaning out a horse stall, right? And I was in there shoveling away, man. My buddy, after about 3 minutes of shoveling, he had to leave.
Go
So
sit in the truck and wait.
Yeah. I'm like, what? What's wrong? He said, man, it's killing me. What? You can't smell that? I said, nope.
You know what I thought was nasty? My first time I saw a cow, it's like they shit like a can of soup. It's about the diameter.
Yeah.
So I'd never seen that before. I think I saw it in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and
That's where they get manwich from.
yeah. So I see it do it. You know, it's steaming. It must have been fall because it was steaming, and these hens and shit came over to start picking the corn out of it.
That's a hamburger helper for you.
Oh, that's hamburger.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I was going to have that today, you know, but I did have a pizza. I ordered it. I ordered it before I came online here.
Hey, that buddy I'm going to meet tomorrow after 30 years, I asked him, you know, since his wife died 5 years ago, I said, okay, what Filipino dish do you want me to bring? And he said, man, the one thing I can't make is lumpia. He said, I cannot make good lumpia. So my wife's making some right now. I'll take tomorrow.
You know what that looks like? A little cookie dough ball. What is that stuff made out of?
What, the lumpia?
Yeah.
No, that's the egg roll stuff. Lumpia is the little egg roll. You know, fried.
Okay. You know,
little dough balls. I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought it was a sweet.
Oh yeah, she makes those too. What's that candy you make, honey? She can't hear me. She got headphones on too.
What?
What's that little candy that you make?
Milk candy.
Huh? Milk candy?
Just candy.
Ice candy.
She said it's condensed milk and something else. I don't know what it is.
Oh, well, maybe that's
just
what
condensed milk and it's little balls of candy. Yeah, she makes that too.
I can eat various stuff in a miniature lumpia. I call that. It reminds me of tamales.
Yeah, she always makes it with chicken, and there's garlic and garlic and onion and something else in there.
No, there's a good thing for you there, garlic.
Oh yeah, that's why the Italians lived so long.
Dude,
back in the old country, man, everything.
You know, I love garlic, but I cannot stand the smell of that shit when it's in your pores. You know.
You talk about something that lights you up if you eat it raw. Oh, you eat too much of that raw? Oh.
You gotta cut it thin when you put it in spaghetti sauce, but better that than the kraut. I don't know.
I think Ron will throw some garlic in that mixture he makes too.
You could put the ginger, a slice of that, a little of that. There's different ways of doing it, and they're all not so funky tasting. The one I described to you with the 2 tablespoons of lemon, that kills that stanky.
About how many ounces of water do you mix that up with?
Which one?
Well, the one you put lemon and
okay, that's
water,
2 cups of water. 2 cups.
What? Apple cider vinegar.
2 cups of water. 2 cups of water, 1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice.
You can squeeze a raw lemon, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. The fresher the better. Shit. But I bought one of those things at Pickett. I went to the grocery store. As a matter of fact, I went there and bought some more for my sister-in-laws and stuff. It's good. It's a big glass canister. It's about like that round, and it's about 4 or 5 inches high. And you sit there and you cut that lemon in half and make your own juice. You know, twisting it on that little. I like to think of it like a. I don't know why I think of it related to that, like, what is that thing called, man? I forget.
My wife always gives, if the kids aren't feeling well, she gives them warm water with lemon in it.
Yeah, you could squeeze off at first you could take the fresh lemon, cut it in half, and see how much juice you can get off of that. So you're set for a week if you start doing that. That's only the 2 tablespoons of lemon and the 2 cups of water and the 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. That's once a day. So what I do with the apple cider vinegar instead of then the other 2 times in a day, I'll just do that with 1 cup of water, 1 tablespoon, 1 cup of water.
Yeah. Hi, Gary. Are you still there?
Are you writing this down?
Putting it all in memory.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'll
you're
be
not.
asking you again next Friday.
You're not a. You're not a messenger, are you?
Yeah, probably.
Are you?
That's
Probably.
that's my wife's thing.
Well, write it down while we're here, man. And if you can't spell, have her do it. And if she can't spell, you're fucked, I guess. But
I write it in Taglish.
that's English. There you go.
2
But
cups of
there's
water. Which was the? They were tablespoons or teaspoons?
a teaspoon's that smaller spoon.
Yeah, I know that, but which was which?
I mean, which was which? They're all tablespoons on what
The
I'm
apple
talking.
cider vinegar was.
The lemon here. The first, we'll break it down here. The first one I take after the meds in the morning is 2 cups of water, warm water, which would be like room temperature, I guess. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, tablespoons of fat one, and 1 tablespoon of
Apple
apple
cider
cider
vinegar.
vinegar. Yeah. Then the other 2 times of the day, I'll take the 1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar with 1 cup of water. So for the afternoon and evening one.
So it's 3 times a day you take that.
It's 3 times a day, but that one drink is only once.
Right.
Yeah.
And the extra virgin olive oil is just 1 tablespoon.
That's 1 tablespoon in the morning. I take one in the evening to help my digestive system move that crap out of me. And the plus side to it is it'll clean your liver. It'll detox. If you take a crap now after taking this stuff, it'll be green. That means it's working.
Yeah, I've been told I have a fatty liver. So.
Oh yeah, well that'll help. But Mr. Computer Whiz could probably tell you all that if you had 4 hours to listen to one dissertation. You just tell him if you want him, come on. You say, "Go step your ass over here," and
Yeah, I had to get some rest for my ears, man. They were going on.
but well, what's new, man? I mean, I don't miss that. It's been a quiet week, which this is good. But all these things I mentioned, I don't know what lemons you pay by the weight or by the. I think you pay by the lemon, not the weight. At least here at stores here. But the apple cider vinegar and the lemon and all that stuff's like $5 or less.
Have you heard from Gareth at all this week?
I have not. Nope. I have not.
And no Ronald today.
What did he come on a couple of days ago? And I think it was Christian. Was that your life, or was that JB's?
When what?
Ronald came on like toward the end.
JB's, I think.
Yeah, a couple of days ago. He was also on Black Filipino TV too. I got this piece of shit temp phone from AT&T because they're upgrading to 5G, and this fucking thing is ridiculous. Oh, it make this temporary piece of shit makes you not wanna fuck around with the iPhone anymore, smartphone.
Is that
Otherwise,
what do you have an iPhone?
yeah. Well, I got mine's Android. Mine's smartphone's Android.
On the internet, it says normal stool color is brown. This due to the presence of bile in the stool. Normally, stool color can change from light yellow to brown to almost black. If its stool
Hmm.
is red, maroon, black, clay colored, pale yellow, or green, this may signify a problem.
Yep.
I can't say I ever had green, but
You will. You do the apple cider vinegar one. You sure will.
hey, your brewers come on in 5 minutes.
They do. Oh wow.
Yeah,
You know what? I don't
better get your
really.
TV going too.
I Yeah, they got a good. They've been pretty competitive last few years because their owner. They're like they're not shy about spending, but there's a lot of tough teams this year with San Francisco and Los Angeles, and you know this will be the. I think this will be the first time the Braves had a playoff game here since they left, since 1958.
Yeah, they're on TBS.
Of course, Turner. You know what? I like baseball, but fucking 162 games is way too long.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I loved it. I mean, I played it all the time when the weather was
Yeah,
good, and
I did too.
but now maybe playoffs, game sevens, I might watch.
Or I could sit there and drink some brandy and cokes all day and fucking spew, be babbling incoherently for fucking hours.
But I got a high school football game to go to tonight because two of my kids play in the band, so I go see
What?
them till halftime. I watch
Tell
the
your
marching
wife.
band, and
Tell
then
your
we come
wife.
home.
Tell your wife to tape it on the phone.
Nah, the home games we go see. We don't go to the away games.
Oh, I used to love road trips when I was a kid. We'd go into parts of Ohio and Pennsylvania for the Little League, tournaments or whatever. Baseball was life for my cousins, boy. They did everything. God, that was the only time in my life it was like having brothers around me. I could pick and choose which ones I could get away with shit and which would benefit me, and
You know
because
what I
they
find?
were different.
What I
Well, the
found
top
out
two,
when I was over on Simon's earlier. You know that Michael McFarland that's
yeah,
in the
Michael,
Philippines.
yeah, yeah.
I found out. I asked him because he said, "Oh, I'm from Pennsylvania." I said, "Where from?" He's from the town across the bridge, across the river from where I grew up.
You
Now, can
probably
you imagine that? What a small world.
you might have seen him, not even have known him.
Nah, he's 5 years younger than me, but
Ah,
but yeah, he grew up maybe 10 miles maximum away.
well, you guys were in a you go. My great grandfather lived in Smithton. I remember I told you about that. That's south. That's about 20 some miles south of Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Golly, man. The only thing I found out about great grandfather, he had at least one brother, and it turned out to be this nice looking chick too. She was beautiful. I think she's in her 30s, upper 30s. Her great grandmother was my grandfather's cousin, something like that. First cousin.
well, when I was growing up, I always thought on my dad's side, my grandma and grandpa, met in the old country and moved here, but
Hmm.
they met over here. They were both Polish Ukrainian, and she was a good bit younger, probably 15 years younger than him. But
And
he came
that's
over
a
in 1897 as a 22-year-old young man,
you know
and
what, man?
she came over as an 8-year-old. Her parents sent her alone as an 8-year-old to America.
Jeez,
That's how
Central
desperate.
alone.
Yeah, she grew up with a Jewish woman in New York City. That's a story I heard.
Damn. I kind of find that kind of hard for an 8-year-old to be unaccompanied.
On a ship, yeah, it took what 2-3 weeks to get here and stuff.
My grandfather was 14 when he got here, and his brother was 14. His brother was Jesus. What was he? My uncle was 62 in 1930. My grandfather was about 10 years older than his nearest brother, and all they endured was there was no crying the blues about shit. They all took their lumps, you know.
Oh yeah, they
They
came
could,
over here not speaking English and just had
yeah.
to
They
learn.
my grandfather and his brother and his guy's little sister. Man, she must have been man. He died in '69. He was 63, and my uncle. Well, no, that wasn't 10 years. That was my great uncle was 62 in 1973. So it's about 5 years maybe, and they knew no English. So they got kids want to jump them, and teachers crack them over the head or over the hands, the ruler for not speaking English. I asked one of my Spanish friends once. I said, "What's the worst thing ever happened to you? Somebody called you a name." You know, um, it just seems real popular today to hold on to that minority status thing when everybody else came here and took their lumps and blended in. You know, that doesn't mean it's right to say anything, but uh, my my grandparents they didn't get a break. You know, they
Yeah,
got no tech.
of course, my dad he could speak and understand Polish, but he never taught us. I wish he
Oh, you
would
know
have.
what? Oh my God! You know what I think is so effed up nowadays is my 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 grandparents would talk in front of my father, but they never taught the kids. You know, and Italian, a lot of the words are close to Spanish. And they use when Italians use an I, they use a E or whatever. But imagine if I was German, maybe I do got a little of that. Who knows? But that surname could have came from way back when because my grandma had cousins like the first names of Iliano, and his last name would be Caston, and the other one would be Lejo, Lee, Iliano Eugene, and my supposedly my dad's grandmother had the same last name as my dad, and but I try looking at not I don't ever get any hits on hers, but I think they came from part of the world where they kept shitty records because you could go into Swede one, my mom's side, with the Swede and the Irish, and you'll get them right away. But I don't think they kept very good records up there in the near the Alps. Austrian Alps, would that be Italian Alps? I don't even know. Maybe it's all of it. But that'll never be again. I tried looking up mine. My sister says, "Oh, you can only be 20% this or that." I said, if you look on these websites at the bottom of the printout that you get, it says that they can only be as much as 50% accurate. That's just based on birth records, death notices, um, stuff like that. But and the available DNA, because they can only compare yours if they have enough of someone else's to compare. So they may not have any DNA that anybody that's come forward to look, through one of those family things. It's just, you always think life was obviously different. And the more you think about it, they probably had the same bitch and moans as anybody else, except um, they didn't spend a whole lot of time doing it because they didn't have time to do that.
Yeah, too busy trying to
Yeah,
survive.
yeah, man. You know what? And when I was younger, I say, man, if I didn't go to school, I could sleep half the day. And then when I was like 14 or 16, I said, man, my whole day is shot. If I get up at 10 o'clock or lay around till noon, well, why bother? So I try to get the most out of the day you can, no matter what it is, as long as you're getting it done. I'm not a fan of waking up, but anyway, you always wonder why there's a lot of mental health people with issues, But if you
You get
look at
you get too
if
much
you look
time on your hands.
if you look at there are a lot of people. I heard at one time you're like 4 or 5 people away from knowing everybody in the world, and you look at when families didn't have last names or when they moved around, like Neanderthals, they start in Africa and you go up, through Europe, there, Russia, and all that, and you come back down. Well, when your generation comes back down, you don't know who the hell, if this is a close or distant cousin.
Right.
But that's where a lot of that comes from. I just that's when nobody knew nothing about nothing. You know what I mean? I meet you when you're 5 years old. We move away. We come back, and there you got kids. You got kids with somebody I know. Well, but it's interesting. But
It's weird, when you get old, because you see someone like on Facebook and you knew them like in high school, and you're like,
well,
who is that? Because we don't look anything like we did.
uh, only a little bit. This friend of mine, we used to get high with, go to concerts. He's in Colorado, and he gets medical marijuana. I said, "Why you move down there?" He goes, "I can smoke all the shit I want to." And he found me on Messenger one day. I haven't seen him in, my God, I think what would that be now? 46 years. He don't look the same. Nowhere near what he did back then. He looked kind of rough. But I had an older sister talking like that once about one of our cousins, which she aged. She didn't age well, and I told my sister, I said, "You ever look in the freaking mirror, man? You're no
Yeah,
you're no prize either,
you're
you know."
calling the kettle black, huh?
Yeah, yeah. You seem to forget that after a while. And my dad goes, "That's right." I said, "Rhonda, you don't look. Even when you look better, you weren't better anyway." But look where
Yeah, he
you
didn't start out with much.
yeah. You know what? If people that were saying that about other people that didn't look at themselves first, where have they been all those years? Because she's sick. I mean, we all get like that. You know what? When you get older, you just want to be able to get out of bed, piss for yourself, and crap for yourself, and
You go through the day with nothing hurt you.
yeah, and the hair, the body thing. When you're younger, you couldn't imagine your life without what you had. But later on, it's like, what, fuck it. I get to come up every day. I wake up every day. I'm not even in great health, but fair. And I was able to retire early, and what do I have to complain about that way? I my first reaction, kind of. Well, I've been around poor and had, I've been all over the place. And when I went to the Philippines, and second time I went, and we were sitting in my wife's auntie's place. It looked like it would have been condemned if it were here. And you look through the wall and you can see the sky,
The
and
wall and the roof, yeah.
your first, well, part of it's dirt. These guys come over. She gets a piece of their card game, and I didn't sit there and judge, because right away when I looked at it, what made me not want to look and judge was that the people around me there, they weren't they weren't worried by that. They didn't care what you thought. You know, they didn't sit there and go, "Excuse our house, it looks like shit,"
Right.
or "How could you live like?" None of that. So when you just sometimes, if you go and you sit back and you watch and you look, especially if you're in a strange company or something, and you look around you, and you go, hey, man, by us, if this were my house, if I had a house like this, my friends would be teasing me, they'd be talking shit. But
I've got my oldest half sister. What is she? She's gonna be 80 years old, and she is obsessed with cleaning her house.
your oldest
And,
sister?
and yeah, 80 years old. Yeah, and cutting her grass. She's out there. She cuts her grass more than anybody I know, and
No,
her house looks like a funeral home, like nobody lives there because it's
please,
so
please.
clean.
Did she have covers on her furniture?
I don't know. I haven't been in it for a while,
No,
but she
no,
might.
no. Please tell me that she don't have that push mower with the S on it from Sears.
No, no, it's not a push. It's a gasoline mower, but she's out there cutting and
Yeah,
cutting.
man, when I was 12 years old, my uncle had one of those, and I'm like, and I started doing it with. I'm like, fuck this! I went and got the regular lawnmower. Like this is how could anybody have dealt with that back then? You would have had to been out there cutting the grass every third day.
Yeah, but you didn't have to buy gasoline.
No, well, back then I'm sure that 25 cents a gallon was a lot for if you made
Well, and in the
uh,
Philippines, if they do cut it, they use a machete.
yeah, or use a bolo or something, a sickle. My uncle had sickles over there. It wasn't our land, but it belonged to the B&O Railroad, but we'd cut it down just to make so it wouldn't look dumpy. And
And you learn how to swing that thing proper because you don't want to get hit with it. That's for sure.
hell no. No, I'm like when I started using that, I'm like, well, okay, this with the lawnmower, you'd have to raise it up, put it down, raise it up, and then you get all this shit. Uh, and then yeah, boy, you know what? I don't know if I told you this, but my great uncle he did one thing that was so ingenious to me, and it was so cool that he thought that way. He came from a time where you used what you used, and you make a bike out of spare parts. That was your new bike. But he had an ignition switch broken on his six. He had a 60. This is in '73. He had a 67 or 68 satellite Plymouth, and he took a huge spool of thread, and he because the inside of the ignition switch was like I think it was zinc, if I'm not mistaken, or lead or zinc, and he notched that spool out exactly like that, like the piece was that went over it, the ignition switch with the. And he put a wing nut on the end of it. That was his key, and it's worked just like.
Worked every time.
And I'm like, holy shit! I didn't say nothing. I'm looking at it, going, how the fuck did he know that? But
I wish I would have learned more about vehicles at an earlier age.
well, they wouldn't do you no good now because they're Jesus. You do one thing, you fuck them up.
Yeah, but it took me a while until I owned my own vehicle. Then I had to. Back then, there's no YouTube, so you got to know somebody who knows how to do something. Who
Yeah.
knows how to do brakes? Who knows how to do transmission?
Well,
Who knows how to tune a carburetor?
but but sometimes you would get the guy that goes, yeah, I know, and he knows just a little bit more than you do, and he
Right, but
fucks you up.
he thinks he's a genius. Yeah.
Hey, I'm sure I told you that, but this is worth re-mentioning. When I was in the army, we did this three-stall car with lifts on it. This garage, you just had to sign up for the time you wanted it.
Yeah, it's called a hobby shop. They called it on the Air
So,
Force Base. You take your car in,
well,
work on it. They had all the tools, everything you need.
yeah, they had everything. You just
You
had
just
to.
rent the space, the time, like you said.
I thought, how freaking cool is this? I don't know if every post had one, but we had one where I was. Anyway, I had the 71 Cutlass, and I thought it needed a tune-up. What it was only running on 7 cylinders. What it was, but this friend of mine says, back where you had the points and the rotor cap and all that shit, where if your cap was cracked and you
Right.
get moisture in there, it wouldn't start. So, well, mine wasn't running right. And we were getting stoned at the time. He says, I said, hey, let's go down and use that garage. Do you know how to do a tune-up? Yeah, I know. So I get all the shit and we go down there. And I don't know if you remember this, Kiko, the rotor cap that point, the plastic cap with that
Right.
metal point. So to not fuck up, it has one full circle and one half. So there's only one way to put it on there.
Right. There's a flat spot where it can
Yeah,
only go on one
there's a
side.
half. Yeah, you can't fuck that up. So we're doing the tune, and I'm in the car. He was doing all of it really, and he put it on backwards. Oh,
You guys were totally blitzed. Huh?
and yeah, and then when I think he saw Jesus after this
A
because
nice big spark.
fucking flame shot right up in front of his face. I go, what the fuck was that? I thought you said you knew what you were doing. And then we look and took it off. I go, how can you fuck this up? I mean, I could have did that. Son of a bitch,
And me and my best friend, we decided I needed a new clutch, right? And my 3 on the tree pickup truck, right? 3 speed on the
Yeah,
column.
I've done
So I
it.
pulled it in my parents' garage and we jacked it up. We did it manually, took the transmission out, put the brand new clutch plate in, put it all back together. I put it in reverse. All it did was whine. It
Huh.
didn't move. And we looked at each other like, did we put that clutch plate in backwards? Sure enough. Well, you live and learn. Like you said, you make mistakes.
Well,
you learn
yeah,
from it.
but
So we had to take
everybody,
do that job all over again.
everybody and anybody out there is not born with firsthand knowledge of this shit. It takes fuck ups to learn. Now,
Yeah.
if there's a lot of work involved in doing it right, I damn sure ain't gonna fuck that up again.
Right. Well, so we learned, and neither one of us had ever done that before, but we figured, how hard
God,
could this be,
this guy worked with this a friend of his did I forget what he put in, what he was replacing on his car, and it was such that he had to take the engine. I don't know exactly what it was. Fuck it, I can't think of it, but he put it all back together and then discovered he forgot a step or reversed a step. He had to take the whole fucking thing up. It was like a 5-hour job, at least 5 or 6 hours he was doing it. And he had to go through that again just to get to the point where he fucked it up to write it.
Yeah, I have this car I'm redoing, and I did change the head gasket, and it was all YouTube videos just from watching that. And I would have never tried it myself, but there was
Well,
YouTube videos, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't look so hard.
you know,
So I did, and the car runs.
what's nice about that is because you can compare. Maybe you've heard of that, but really, by not having practical experience, you've heard of it, but you just never put it together because you didn't want to deal with it. And then later on, like you say, when you're looking at the YouTube things, what helps you realize that this is the way it could be is from that stuff you had in the back of your head from years ago where you weren't quite sure, but somebody told you, that
Yeah,
actually
and there's
happened.
this young, 20-some kid, and he's like so nonchalant about it, like it's no big deal. I figured, hey, if he can do it. So I did
Well,
it.
a lot, you know what? A lot. I grew up without a garage, where if you didn't fix your car, have it fixed for you, you got a parking ticket because you had to alternate sides of the street. And so there was never a lot of time to do things that you could watch. I mean, anything I did know, I knew from watching, and it was enough to realize when something was fucked up. But anybody, when you're anybody that sits there and tries to tell you that, you know, there are very few people in this world that can get something right away without even having any firsthand or any knowledge, period, on anything. So yeah, so you have a good laugh about it with friends, but I'm never gonna call anybody a dumb fucker because he couldn't put a set of brake pads you know, on a caliper without compressing the pistons to make sure there's enough clearance, to put it on. but especially if somebody's giving the effort. But a lot of people like to think they know shit right away. You know, they eat their fucking sauerkraut and goose step around. Yeah, that looks good.
There you go. That's what lumpia are. You
Do
recognize them
you?
now?
Yeah. Do you? Do you fry those in? That's another thing. If you fry in extra virgin olive oil, it's healthy for you.
Just like that, in oil.
What
A
kind of
little bit of
oil?
oil. What kind? Extra virgin olive oil? Yeah, olive oil.
Well, extra virgin. That's good. That's good. That's healthy. Sometimes it's not gonna taste as great as that good old greasy taste you get from frying in vegetable oil or something else. You know. I don't know why I couldn't remember what that was. It's probably, geez, I think my wife made that. Whew, man, last time I had that.
And then you get that sweet chili sauce to dip it in, and oh man, is it good.
Well, I try to stay away from spicy shit other than what I take for what I take. So next time you go shop and get your root of ginger, and you only need one because that shit'll go bad real fast if you. I went out and
No,
I go,
my wife always buys that stuff.
dude. I bought like 4 of them. I thought, oh, I'm gonna. Man, I didn't even get one cut up totally before they all went bad. But a lot of those healthy tip stuff, you can use those. You can use some of these other things for your everyday cooking, like the oil. Anything to help me get a little bit of a leg up, you know.
Yeah, she's a really good cook, and I am living proof of it. 'Cause
Are you?
even her Filipino friends, man, if they want something done right, they ask her to cook it.
Do you got a gut like that guy on Beavis and Butthead, the neighbor they were always fucking around with?
It's not quite that bad.
With that guy, I forgot the guy's name. He go, all the kids are out back walking in my trailer again.
I never watched that, so I don't really know the
Oh, that's
character.
freaking hilarious, man. Beavis and Butthead, boy. It's like one guy's friend telling the other guy, coaxed him into doing something, even though he knows the end result ain't gonna be good, but he does it anyway. Yeah, go ahead and touch that wire. Ain't not gonna happen to you. And he touches it and electrocute. See, dumbass, what'd you do that for? Oh, I should have sent him a message, man. We need Gear to come on here and liven it up.
Yeah, he commented a long time ago. I don't know. He's probably watching football.
Hey, we're so boring here. We only got one person watching.
I'm surprised Simon hasn't come over. He
Yeah,
probably
he's
can't
got
get
some.
he can't get a word in anyway.
What the hell's he doing? Well, he picked up those extra jobs last week, I think. So this guy, he's almost certainly got to have somebody working on some of those. One guy can't do it himself.
You ever watch that Sunshine Shoulders or whatever it is?
I seen him once,
Yeah,
and I don't care for the guy
he's
because
he's building a house. He just built it. He said 1,000,000 pesos, which is 20 grand, with a
yeah,
lot 52-meter house, so 52 square meters.
was it nice or no?
Well, it's a small 2 small bedrooms, a bathroom,
Why
and
why why I don't care for him is because I think he's a hustler like he's probably in America, and I think that shit you're gonna con people over there, and then you're gonna con them one time the wrong person. If they don't take too kindly, to get taken advantage of, you know what I mean? And between over here and over there, you're not going to get busted over there. I like the other guy, him and his wife, J and K, Black Filipino TV.
Well, he had this one guy. Well, they're not married. Two Filipinos, a man and a woman. But
Mm.
her English, it sounded like she was born and raised here in the U.S. Because I've never heard a native Filipino speaking, such perfect English. I mean,
You
I
know,
couldn't believe it.
you don't realize that over there are two major languages, Tagalog and English.
I
They're
know, but you
everybody's
can
taught.
always tell just by pronunciation and stuff.
Well,
But
yeah, but
I mean,
yeah,
her pronunciation isn't even, you can't tell.
no.
It was amazing.
But, yeah. There are sounds that. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like
Well, maybe. She,
the two letters T and H together, right? Like tings instead of things, right?
hmm.
It's tings, right? That is dat, dat. So there's just certain things, and I've learned that wherever I've been in the world, your mouth and tongue just don't form that way because you never say it that way.
Yeah,
I'm sure uh, Christian can attest to that. There's just certain things that, like me, I can't roll R's. You know how the Spanish can roll
yeah,
their R's, and
yeah.
my mouth just can't do that.
I um, I I went to my bank a few weeks ago. I forgot what I was there. I forget what for. Oh, opened up a second checking account, and the lady talked me to Spanish, by birth or by heritage, anyway. And I said, "Yeah, they use pesos over there," and I was pronouncing cienteses and like I was saying a couple words like they pronounce them, which is to me difficult because I don't use them. But I give a lot of freaking credit. I only know one, and at this point in life, I only care to know one. I mean, but for those that are out here, such as Gear and Christian, they they speak two different ones.
Right? And yeah, speaks them
It,
well. It's an
it,
accomplishment.
well, if the thing is when you have the right intention, but you say it wrong, maybe and some people don't mind you helping them out. Others are get kind of upset by it. But
But we in the U.S., we can tell, like anyone who's French, they will say certain words, and we can tell they're French just by the
mhm.
way they say them in English. And Germans, and Italians, there's just certain thing. And people from India, you can just tell certain ways. You know. Now us
They
trying to speak another language, they can tell right away. Oh, that's some Yank, trying to speak
yeah.
our language.
Well, I was in Florida once with my second wife and the two kids, and we were on the beach, and I heard these younger girls down there, and they say yuns.
Yeah,
Well,
that's Pittsburgh.
it's that region, so I knew where these girls were from because most of the South will say y'all, you know, but but that was one word that I would never use when I was living there. I'd never say yuns. But
Yeah,
but
I
the
try to avoid it, but it's
but
something that you just grew up with, and it
the
comes out.
longer the longer I was there, the dumber it sounded when I said "use guys," and
Right, right.
my cousin would say, "What the hell you mean use guys?" It would sound
It's the
it
plural.
sound
Yeah,
weird,
for you.
and
You know,
yeah,
I was stationed in Okinawa, Japan, right? And we had this new airman come in. She was, like 18 years old, and she said one sentence. I heard her talking, and I said, "Where are you from around Pittsburgh?" And she looked at me like I was a stalker or something. This was way back before the internet, right, or anything. No, I said, no, where are you from? I can tell just by the one sentence that you spoke because
yeah.
I'm from there and I know that language. Sure enough, she was from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Well, that you
It
got to say
wasn't.
that
She didn't say yuns. She said like we say downtown instead of downtown. It's more like downtown. So
Yeah.
you can tell.
Well, everybody in that town I was in, that was in eastern Ohio, eastern southern Ohio, was about 50 miles from is it Wheeling or Weirden? But
Well, they're
anyway,
pretty close, anyways. Weirton and Wheeling are pretty close.
yeah, it's only a 10. Well, I think there's a 10-mile stretch or 20 at the
Yeah,
tip
something
of.
like that.
Yeah, so they spoke like that in where I was at, so I knew about where they were from, what part of the country, you know. Um, they spoke like that. I don't know now. I don't know about West Virginians if they did the same thing or not.
No, they have more of a southern accent. You
Well,
know.
I mean even up in that little strip by Wheeling or Weirden.
Right, right. But deep,
They
deep down in West Virginia, it's more southern,
oh sure,
like
but I
Kentucky
mean
and Tennessee type.
I'm talking about the Yuns pronunciation.
Right.
Do they do that in that little portion of West Virginia that borders Ohio and Pennsylvania?
You know what always amazed me? Because I lived in Oklahoma for 8 years, right? And they have close to a Texas twang, right? But Kansas, which borders Oklahoma, you go to people in Kansas, they speak like middle America. There's like no accent, no words really that I could distinguish. You know, all those people in middle America, like Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska, they just
You
speak
know,
plain old U.S. English
you
with no
know,
accent. But
you know.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you can
No, I was
tell
just
that.
say, you know what
Chicago, you
people
can tell that.
people from up here go Milwaukee, like a ma, like a not mill.
Oh, that's
But
how they say it, Milwaukee.
no, it's well, yeah, the true freaking Wisconsinites, I guess, or whatever. They'll say Milwaukee, and I fucking irritate you every time I
How do
hear
they
it.
say Sheboygan?
Sheboygan, just like I just said it.
Oh, okay.
What was I thinking? Oh yeah. So most of that accent thing, growing up when you're a kid, I thought was all in the South. So always had that mindset, all these years. And one evening, I was making my yearly drive through Illinois, Indiana, along the turnpike there, 70-80, I think. Is it 70-80 or 80-90? But anyway, we stopped for gas right after we got over the, after you get out of Chicago, you got those bridges. And we stopped at the first exit, the first gas station. These guys were talking like they were some hicks from way down. I'm like, what the fuck is this? You're like 10 miles, if
From
that.
Chicago?
Yeah, you're very close. Probably more than 10, but there weren't very, you went through Gary and all that, but there weren't very many. Uh, uh, there wasn't that great of a distance from Chicago to the part of Indiana.
Right.
And I thought, man, what the fucking hillbilly shit, man? Where'd they come from?
Was it like South Bend where Notre Dame is, or in that area?
Uh, it was before that. It was like right after you got out of Chicago, and
Then there's
I don't.
Gary, Indiana, right, which borders kind of Chicago.
Yeah, it was right. I think it was the first exit after Gary, I want to say. But I was surprised by it was like it was 10 miles, 30. I can't recall, but it was the first um, inhabitable or whatever area after Illinois, and the hickness in the tone and that I thought, the fuck is
Tony,
this North?
do they have Amish in Wisconsin? Amish
I don't even.
people?
They
We have a
might.
lot in Pennsylvania. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't.
they speak what is German, right? They
Yeah,
call them Pennsylvania Dutch.
gibberish
Yeah,
German.
German.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went on I was on a bus once when I was a kid going there, and these guys smelled like the farm, and I thought, hey, I didn't know they had different factions. There are ones that don't believe in motorized vehicles or some shit.
Right.
So
Or
I'm
power tools.
listening. I'm listening to these guys talking. They smell like the farm. And I could hear the accent, but it was like speaking German with the quickness of Puerto Rican, like Spanish or something. and I know they got Amish all over Pennsylvania and Ohio. I know it's
Yeah.
I know you
Do you know a town in Wisconsin called Ladysmith? It's a
Ladysmith.
little
Yeah, I've heard of it.
it's a little town because when my daughter was graduating boot camp at Marine Corps Paris Island, there was a
Yeah,
girl in her company that won like the expert marksman or something, and they announced it. They said she's from Ladysmith, Wisconsin. So I had to
yeah,
go
it's a
look that up on
small.
the map, man. It's a tiny, it looks like a farming. Her parents were there, right? And they
What
were farmers.
what was it near? It was in central Wisconsin.
What? How you say it? Eau Claire? Eclair?
Eau Claire, Eau
Eau
Claire.
Claire. Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's French. As far as I know, the whole state pronounces it Eau Claire. I don't know. EAU, something like that.
Right, right.
Yeah, there was a
And
lot of
that's like Des Moines, Iowa. You know.
there was there was there was a extremely heavy populations of French and Indian American Indian throughout the whole region over there. Anyway, I mean, there were you don't go far around here without
Isn't
hearing
it
an Indian.
big Swedish too?
Swedish, yeah, we got. I don't know if there's any Sweden, Wisconsin, but we got a Denmark, a Norway, uh, Calabria, like in
Yeah,
Italy,
that's
the
the Italian town.
down by the toe.
I know
There's
Italian families with that last name here.
Calabria.
Yeah.
That's from the probably from the town. That's from that toe part there.
Well,
I'd
some sports. I don't know if he was good in high school sport. Dante was his first name.
like Inferno.
Yep.
The three regions that my DNA come from the most are number one, Trento, Italy, northern Italy there, and number two is Calabria. I don't know if I'm saying that right, and the third is Sicily. So it's all over the
You know,
place.
in high school, we had a foreign exchange student from Italy, and he played on our soccer team, and he was incredible, fantastic. But he was from up in northern Italy, Milan. You know, way up
My
north.
dad's family's from is about. There's a lot of Bossettis up there, but where they're from is northeast of Milan. In Trento, it's Trentino. I think they call it Trentino Aldridge. There's like near the Alps. But you know what? Growing up, man, I worked in restaurants for some Sicilians. I don't know, and they were assholes, man. I mean,
Yeah.
there wasn't there wasn't anything about Italy I liked. All the people that I knew from there who were from there were they
Yeah, they weren't shy about their opinions. Huh?
nah they it was almost like if you weren't born into it, you didn't belong. You
Yeah,
know, I
and
didn't know they had such a racial strife there between Sicilians and the Northern Italians, and
I mean,
I worked.
I truly
I,
don't think they were meant to be offensive. That's just the way
no,
they were.
no,
You know?
you know what? I think it goes back to like Puerto Ricans and Mexicans. Who's more this and that, the other thing. And this woman at work one time, one of my dad's friends, and I ended up working with her, Carmen. She was Sicilian, and she'd say she was talking to somebody once, and she said, "All those Northerners think they're so damn pure." I'm thinking, what the hell is she talking about? Evidently, there's that blue eye blonde shit, and sure enough, that area probably come from the Austrian or whatever.
You'd always get them saying, "What's the matter, you?" You know?
Well,
What's the matter, you?
I worked in a restaurant, a Sicilian one, and I'm telling this that the owner's mom. I mean, I was telling her about my grandma, where they were from, and all that. This lady could give a shit, like I was just pissing her off, and it didn't dawn on me till that years later when I worked with that other
Like
woman.
like the North and the South back in the Civil
Yeah,
War here in the States. You know, they don't care about
Hatfields,
each other.
yeah, Hatfields and McCoys. I thought, I thought it was one solid. I mean, I know they share the same flag, but I did not know nothing about that type of hidden anger kind of thing, whatever they want to call it. I didn't
That,
know about that.
but like you said, when I saw my high school foreign exchange student, my teammate from Northern, I'm like, he doesn't look Italian, because all the Italians I knew were more Sicilian, dark,
Hmm.
coal black hair, you
Yeah.
know, darker complexion, but I was like,
Well,
this guy
here's the
doesn't look.
thing about that, Kiko. The darker complexion, like south of Rome. I mean, there were 4 million Italians that went back home because they were being forced to label themselves as black on applications or records and all that shit. Um, I don't think there's any one spot in the world. I mean, the British are all made up of Scandinavian, Germanic Europe, all over. I mean, they're like they're like the hodgepodge of Europe. They got a little of all of that.
It's funny, when I was growing up, my cousins lived right next door, and my older cousin, she brought home a boyfriend, and he was standing with his back facing, our house, and Mom looked out, and she's like, "Dad, look, Cheryl brought a black guy home." he was he had a big fro, like, but he was Italian, and he got
Bullocks.
so dark when he was in the sun, and nicest guy ever.
Yep,
He's like 6'5", wonderful guy, but man, did he get dark when he tanned. Oh my gosh.
my dad's side be like olive color, but when you're a kid, man, I mean, my experiences with the now this ain't everybody, but I always hear people ranting and raving about Italian women being the best looking. And I'm thinking, I never saw that. I know there are some, but I never saw what I would hear people saying. They were some of the harder looking women in the world. They just, to me, they looked like the kind that would wash clothes beaten with rocks or some shit by the river.
Yeah, you got there's everywhere in the world, there's different.
Oh yeah,
uh
they're,
they
they're
have
all
their
different. I understand that part, but hearing what I always heard, I had one girlfriend. Her last name was Naparella. I keep forgetting that one for some reason, but I never. That was the only Italian girlfriend I ever had. But I just didn't know about these. I thought we were the only country in the world that had a racial problem. I didn't know that. I worked in the factory, and this guy named Al Cantor, I think he was either Austrian or German. He told me that there'd be these work groups, like say they got all these Vietnamese guys would go around Europe, working these jobs, and the people in these countries took it a lot further than they ever did here. They resort to some violent. No, I mean they had violence, sure, yeah, but they did not tolerate that period.
hey, and then you get someone like Simon. Look at him. Come on up,
Simon,
Simon. Come up and let your ears
nah,
rest
he's
here.
probably on his second bottle by now.
It's only 10:20 Friday evening at his place.
It's Friday, man. Friday high day.
He's probably working tomorrow. The machine.
Well, if he has enough work, he's probably didn't he become you're the supervisor and the owner.
I guess what, Simon? You don't get paid overtime for weekends.
Yeah, he makes enough, doesn't he? I don't even know. Maybe he just got done knocking himself off of chunk, and he decided to come on here.
Maybe
Tony,
he's
Tony
may,
want,
maybe
Tony
he's got a
want.
pigeon race tomorrow.
Hey, what's that? Tony won't let me. Tony won't let you do what?
Is he
You're
waiting
not.
backstage?
You're not blocked. I don't know what you're talking about.
Click the link,
There's
Simon.
old Michael, boy. He's good.
Michael.
Just give me a
Michael,
minute.
you survived.
He
Oh, I'm
don't.
always surviving.
You got to be drunk, Simon, because you're not spelling "don't" right. DONYT. I don't
What?
like listening, huh? Listening to what?
That's the Soutfordian in him.
He's
What
a
are you
what?
doing, Kiko? Kiko used to live right next to me. Motherfucker never come visit me.
Oh,
Son of a bitch.
yeah, ain't he, man? Ain't it? Hey, Michael, you gonna? I guess you just skipped the sleep part of the day, huh?
I don't have a schedule.
I don't know. That's the best one to have. Christian don't have one either.
Uh, tomorrow, I don't have to do anything, so.
Hey,
Great.
Michael, you should have some of these with your San Miguel there. They're ready to fry up.
Oh, I have some San Miguel.
Yeah,
The
but you
English
don't have
version.
lumpia.
I have
English
San
version.
Miguel.
He's got San
There you
Miguel,
go.
the boy from Elwood City.
Which way you want to go?
What time is it there by you, Michael?
It's
5:22 in the morning.
Hey, look at this. I pissed
Hey.
Daryl off.
Where'd you
I
get
said,
that
you
from?
got one of these? You
Where'd
got
you
one
get
of
it
these?
from?
Huh?
Where did you get the shirt from?
I got it when I lived in Cebu.
Oh, they actually had a size that fit you?
Well, I'm not that fat.
Well, it's kind of hard to find. It's hard to find an XL, or I buy all the T-shirts now.
I wear medium. I'm a little
I
guy.
get them XL because if you wash it and then you dry it, it's going to shrink it. I got T-shirts that are, shoot, man, 20 years old. I hardly ever wear.
Boy, that was a quickie, Simon.
Hey, Michael.
Simon had himself a
Simon.
quickie. Oh, hello, Christian. I didn't see you up there at the top.
I'm hiding.
Yeah, he's laying low. He's like the unknown comic,
Gary was supposed to come over. I don't know where now he's at.
Gary.
Yeah.
If Maria made an appearance, Gary would be here like that.
Gary who?
You know, old man Gary.
Yeah, we all know him. Michael's
Guy
Irish.
with a gray beard that we always keep telling to trim because Filipino women don't like long facial hair and all
Hey,
that.
The guy that we keep telling to turn his YouTube channel off.
I would like it very much if Ronald
That would
came
be
here
him. That would
because
be
I just
him.
realized I'm the oldest guy here. Shit, that ain't no good.
What? What are you ordering me?
Yeah,
What about gear?
I'm 60. Gear's 50. What? 6, 7? Yeah.
I'm 55.
I'm 60. Christian's 48, 49.
Oh, you is big 6-0.
Yeah.
Today was Daryl's birthday party.
Daryl.
That's yeah.
He's in his
you know.
He's in his 50s too. About 57 maybe.
No, I think he had a birthday today. I don't know what the fuck it was. They only put one candle on it, and I said they probably don't make enough in the Philippines to put all your candles on there for
You see, you have all the girls blow it, and you pick the one with the strongest. Whoever's got the most wind.
Yeah. Hello, Christian.
Hey, Michael.
I see you. See, my internet works pretty good.
Hey, did you get up early today, or you just haven't gone to bed yet?
I haven't gone to bed. I've been up since 7 in the morning.
Yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that would be yesterday.
Ooh, look at that.
No, I didn't eat.
Looks like a cigar sitting there, though.
My wife asked me if I wanted to eat, and I said, nope, I'm going to drink.
Not yet. When you wake up, you will, but
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know what time I'll wake up. Depends on what time the kids
Like-
want to be annoying.
I think the bet of the day is what time you're going to go to sleep.
Simon say he liked the girls blowing.
Mm.
That's not. If your lady blow on it, that's wrong,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, you sucky, and that's what you got to do.
Whistle out of a bottle.
Yeah. That reminded me of doing that with steal my dad's beer bottle and when he wasn't drinking it.
Now, what we used to do was steal my dad's beer.
Oh, hey, this is
Yo.
if you guys want to know what big of an asshole my dad was. So this friend of mine, he lived way up on this like 30 blocks away, and underneath this bridge was a distributorship, a beer distributor. So
Yeah.
they load the trucks up there. Well, I think we were like 15 years old, and they left the doors unlocked one night, and we took all this beer, cases and cases. I forget what kind it was. So in my house, in the house we lived in, you open up for the basement door, there was this bookshelf with a bunch of junk on it. And here's all these beer cases. My dad opened the door. He saw the beer. He goes, "What the fuck is all this?" I was, "Well, I ain't drinking it, Dad. We just didn't have nowhere to put it." I told him one of our friends' dads, he delivered for a company. So he got, odd and even, oddball fills,
And then
You're still able to speak partially, too. That's good.
oh yeah, I can function.
Yeah.
I don't run into furniture and beat myself up. And
You know what? I've been walking around here.
I
I've been
think
walking around here.
before I speak, and I start speaking, and I'm like, "What the hell did I want to say?"
Oh, yeah, I do that all the time. But as long as you've gotten up to take a piss, right? I mean, you don't piss yourself, so we're good.
Well, no, I got up and I took a piss, got a beer, and then I come in here and got on your channel.
Yeah. Thank you.
But Kiko, who in hell was that officer that pulled you over in Elwood?
Oh, I wouldn't know his name.
Kiko, why do you got? Why don't you leave your camera on? Yeah. It's like Simon Jr.
Yep.
My mom used to work at the Elwood Municipal Building. She knew every fucking cop.
Mm.
So when she passed away there at home, every patrol car, they were there before the fucking ambulance got there.
Oh, yeah.
No shit.
Mm.
They were all there. Everybody that was on duty. And they knew exactly where we lived.
Hey, you never know. Maybe you were throwing snowballs at Kiko's cars too.
No, Kiko lived in a different town.
His birthday's coming up at the end of the month.
Well, happy birthday, Kiko. I hope
Thank
you get
you.
another year older.
I'll be as old as Tony.
Oh,
Don't say that.
holy shit.
Yeah,
We're all going downhill
could-
slowly.
He could be a fat sausage chewing wino too, but he's not.
He's probably a Dago.
Nah,
Are you a Dago?
no. I am.
Elwood was full of Dagos.
I am. Well, a lot of my grandfather,
We had 3 Catholic churches.
my great grandfather's family settled there in Pennsylvania. Salton. You ever hear of Salton? Salton?
I've heard of it, but I don't know exactly.
Maybe my
Yeah,
You
I'll tell
said
you.
it was Smithton.
Smithton. That's what. That's why it sounded weird when I said it. Yeah, okay. Smithton. That's 20 some miles south.
Man, Tony, you're getting like Simon.
Oh, fuck yeah. I guess that's what happens when you get stuck with the elderly duty here.
That's what happens when you get old age.
Yeah, yeah. So we're
You can't remember some things, but other things that you can remember that happened
well,
30 years ago.
alcohol
You
can keep you
remember
sharp.
it like it was yesterday. Yeah.
Hey, alcohol can keep you sharp, Michael.
Oh, I know. I
Hey,
did it
Michael.
for 12 years. I did it for 12 years.
Simon says, "Are you pissed?" That means, are you drunk?
Yeah, I know what it means. I'm Irish.
There you go.
Just call him a wanker. Hey, you
Yeah.
fucking wanker.
He likes that. Ronnie's not on Messenger. Jesus, I sent him a message earlier today.
I just got the thing up. Are you pissed? Michael? Why would I be pissed off at you? Watch,
Who?
I'll play this stupid game. Why would I be pissed off at you?
I mean, Simon.
Yeah. Watch, I'll type in the chat.
Well, you know what? If he were half of the man he is, he'd come up here and tell you. So you got two guys in the closet here.
It don't matter.
So how many dead
I
Miguel
didn't give you a
soldiers we got
thumbs
sitting
up.
there?
I didn't give you a thumbs up. Good thing you mentioned that. So I give you a thumbs up. So now you got
I should give myself a thumbs up then. I won't feel so bad. Hey, here's one negative. You know that's got to be Maria or Simon, huh? Oh no, that'd be that kraut. That'd be that sausage chewing fucker that likes drinking Jack and Coke or whatever the fuck that is.
Watch what I type. Go like this.
You're not doing a math problem, are you?
No. I'm trying to make it child friendly.
Child friendly.
Texting.
Not made for kids or something.
Yeah.
This is not kids, and then you got not.
Well, I don't want to be. Pissed off Robert.
Say what?
I pissed off Robert.
Oh, you did. That ain't hard to do.
He talking about traveling his dog. Me pissed? Never. Effing, I'm Irish.
Michael,
Effing
how did you?
Pissed.
Michael, how did you piss him off?
He's talking about his dog. Hey, there's Gary.
His dog. Oh, look at.
Yeah, about shipping it to the Philippines, and
Oh,
it's worth $3,000. And
I don't
said,
know.
get fucking insurance on the motherfucker.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if anybody doesn't know that guy David from was that American Philippine YouTubers they're called, I think, or the other way around. He just went through. He just went through shipping his dogs.
I don't know.
Hey, Gary.
Who?
I said hello, Gary.
Oh, Gary. Yeah. Hey, Gary.
Yeah, Gary's here.
Gary. What was that
I
thing that
beat
you
you,
were?
Gary.
Gary was disturbed by something on a video the other day.
Yeah, I understand that. Gareth feels bad.
Oh, I skipped one. Here we go.
Hey, this is the wrong place to be if you're
I
easily
forgot.
offended.
What? The hell? Simon, you're talking gibberish. What is I think I forgot more than Tony knows? Oh, yeah, I doubt that, but that's okay. We'll see where you're at in 10 years. If you're not on an what do you call it? Kidney dialysis machines.
Yeah. Hey, they're putting one in my town.
Uh-oh.
Dialysis center.
Me, I'm Irish. I
We
can.
don't have a good hospital, but we got a goddamn dialysis center.
Yeah, kidney dialysis. Oh,
Hey, Dennis.
Dennis the Menace is here.
Means your liver is fucking crap.
Yeah. Hello, Dennis. How you doing? You do that thing with the 1 tablespoon of water with one cup of water, 1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar. That'll help your liver out.
And with 1 gallon of San Miguel.
Yeah. Well, you gotta wash. You gotta have some kind of chaser, right?
Well, the San Miguel gets rid of all the bacteria because it has alcohol in it. Since you can't drink pure alcohol, rubbing alcohol, alcohol kills.
Gary, listen to Gary there. How can he be disturbed about trash cans? They're plastic containers, Gary. They're supposed to be outside. I don't know why. I don't know why somebody's garbage cans would be disturbing to somebody.
That's a homeowners association violation. Right
They were
there.
well. Gary spells house different than I do. He spells house Hosu. So HOSUE. Yeah, mine weren't on the side of the house,
That
Gary.
has
But
encrypted meaning.
Gary, the reason I put those 2 in the front by the garage door is to hide from public view of my brand new snowblower down back there. I don't want to have everybody taking a gander at it when they ride down the street, so I block it with the garbage cans.
Yeah, we used to have them recycle bins too.
Now, Gary, you know what would be Gary? What would be disturbing to me is if you were watching that video totally naked. Now that would be disturbing. Legendary Gary, yeah.
Well, Gary, look, if you come here, you probably have enough money. You can hire you a driver per day. What's it cost? $20 to go around town.
Gary, surprisingly, it would be very cheap for you to take the trikes around town where you'll be living. You could take $1 and it'd be more than enough.
I got 2 single drivers for motors, and then I have another guy that has actually a vehicle.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be using him the next couple months, but that's only
Hey, Michael,
maybe
how early does he
50
get up on Saturday? He needs to go get you some more San Miguel.
Oh, don't worry, I got the wife on that.
Preferably the
That's her
cold stuff.
I
What
don't
an
go.
instigator.
I don't go out till Sunday.
Gary, I didn't know that you were not wearing something. I said what would be disturbing would be if you sat naked watching a video. I think that you got to take a little bit of that shit and put it in your ears and wash out the wax.
Hey, Gary's beard actually looks good today.
Hey, Baconator,
Gary's beard, yeah, that
how's
picture.
everything up in the Great White North?
Yeah, that's a good picture you got. I'll put it back.
Not that one. Not that one, but his actual one on the cam.
Well, it's the same one. That's his new one.
He kind of cleaned it up a little bit.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Where's mini firewater? I don't know. What's this one, Gary? That whenever
I like
you
it.
coming to a bus
I
stop.
love my beard.
You know what,
Yeah.
Gary, I now that you mentioned that, when I was new, when I was first doing it, on my way home, I would do that. I would actually do that with my car, pull up to the side by the bus stop.
Hey, did you notice on Christian's video there's not a single stop sign or traffic light in
Christian
his
video.
entire 15-minute drive?
Get out of town. No, there was two.
No,
Well, you know
tell
what
him, Christian. All yield signs. That was it.
then no, you know what they
And
were?
roundabouts.
There were those roundabouts.
Yeah, we have
I
roundabouts
said
instead
there's
of the
no stop
lights.
signs or traffic lights. It's
No,
roundabouts or yield signs.
we
Well,
have roundabouts.
It seems
you're
like the traffic
halfway.
goes much smoother.
You're halfway right, Kiko. Yeah, that's when people know how to use them. Hey, we had this this turnabout after this bridge downtown, and this guy several times people come over there drunk, and where there used to be a road is now sidewalk and signs, and you could see where the bottom of their car would bottom out, and the grass is tore up.
But we
Gary,
do
That's where
have
you need a big old
down.
cement barrier.
I'm telling you, man. Oh my God.
we do have traffic lights in bigger cities.
Yeah, they.
I know, but it just seemed like such a pleasant drive because you just kept moving the whole time
Yeah.
until you had to back up in the parking lot because there was no exit.
I don't like backing up no more, man. I'm
You got
getting.
one
I'm
of
getting.
backup cameras on your Camry?
Nah, mine's a 2007. Yeah, the Camaros are sitting there, but I drive the Camry, so the XLT or XL. What do they call them suckers back then? I forget. It was like the second from the top. Oh shit! I can't even think of it, man. Uh-oh, what's this? Uh-oh. Gary, Dennis, you're getting scolded here. You don't call your papa by his name.
Hey, Gareth does, and he's the prime minister.
Oh,
Yeah, Prime Minister of England.
I'm waiting for next week.
What's next week?
What's happening?
because Garrett's supposed to go over to hang out with Simon.
Oh, that's right. That is next week, huh?
Is that next week?
Yeah.
That's your future house guest. You don't know where he is?
He ain't coming here. I live in the Philippines.
Where's the Patty? He calls Gareth Patty once in a while.
Maybe he's got a live stream with his special person.
Special friend.
I think he's supposed to do a live stream tomorrow night.
Simon, what's a Patty?
Gary, ask Siri.
Let Simon tell Gary what a Patty is.
It's the new version of Alexa.
Oh, gee. Yeah. You better turn Alexa the other way so it doesn't show you, she don't see a jack in there.
It's the Irish Alexa.
Simon, tell him what a Patty is.
Michael, be careful. Don't laugh too hard. You know, oh, that San Miguel's got to go somewhere.
I drink slow.
Well, you're still talking very well, so that's cool.
I'm an all-day drinker. I don't drink to get stupid drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We're from Western Pennsylvania.
My words and
That's still coming?
shit. And
No, you haven't slurred your words yet. No, I don't. No.
Hey Tony,
So-
that's how we talk in the bars in Western Pennsylvania.
yeah, just kind of slur them along, and they all run together.
Them's
We eventually get down to Tennessee speed.
say it.
What are y'all doing?
Speaking of that, where's Bud?
He,
Oh, I don't know. I don't know where he is. I like Bud.
yeah, everybody loves Bud.
Everybody likes Bud. How can you not like Bud?
He
it's-
has a good personality. He has a,
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you, for a Southern person, and I lived in Tennessee for a year and a half at Fort Campbell. And when I come back home to Pennsylvania, they're like, "Why are you talking funny?" What do you mean? Yeah, I didn't get it because I was saying y'all instead of yins, and they picked up on it right away.
Tell him the San Miguel makes you talk funny.
Hey, Michael, Gary has a question for you.
What's up?
He says right there.
He should have highlighted my name, and then it would have been.
You might run out of beer.
Oh no! Oh no!
You're
I got
stopped.
about 30 more of these motherfuckers, Gary. 30 more.
Yeah, and I think gravity's going to get to him before the other 30.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope you have an emergency generator for your refrigerator. No brownout. Can't have warm beer.
He's skipping food.
It doesn't
He's skipping
matter
food
to me
today.
whether it's warm or cold. It doesn't really matter to me.
I can't have warm. Oh.
How many, Michael? How many of those sand makes do you think you've put down today?
Well, I started out.
Look on the floor.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. That's what I looked at.
That's called a Pennsylvania garbage can. Your carpet.
Yeah. No, we don't have carpet. We have tile.
You've been drinking for
I got 3 of these small ones.
22 hours?
And
No, 12, 10 hours.
well,
Just about
4
4.
small
Simon
ones.
started
This
about
makes
4.
5. And I know I drank
Yeah.
3 grand days.
Mhm.
And that's from 1 o'clock
Yeah.
this afternoon.
Oh,
So
boy.
that's over,
Oh,
Well,
only
it's
1
almost
o'clock
6
this
in the
afternoon.
morning.
over 12 hours.
Oh, way.
So I'm not really all that drunk.
Yeah, you're just spacing yourself. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, you're and you. I look up to you for that.
I don't get stupid drunk. I got kids to worry about.
Some people on here do though.
You know?
Yeah, but he's not on tonight.
Uh,
Patty.
well, which one? Which one could that be? Jesus. You know what? I like to see a show. I like to see one of these shows once where the top four drinkers are all talk on here at the same time.
Oh, Gary, it'll be all right.
I think there would be a very comical. No, I don't have to drink. No,
I don't drink every day.
I got beer sitting in my refrigerator from.
Tell him only on the days that end in Y.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't have to.
I only drink on the burr months.
There you go.
The rest of the months, I'm pretty good.
Burr, and burr.
Yeah.
4 months. Cop would think you're talking some foreign language.
Look, my wife don't complain about it.
Yeah, it keeps you off her.
She never gives me tempest.
No.
Never. No matter what I do.
Yeah, Mountain
Wait,
Dew. Yeah.
what? No Tompo?
I
Oh,
None.
man.
I can't.
What planet is she from?
I got it made, dude.
Yeah, I got beer in the refrigerator, right, Gary? I do. But I need atmosphere. So, and not this kind. I mean the kind of eye candy. Because beer thinks it'll make you think you got a shot with anybody.
Well, that's why I quit going to bars, Tony.
Yeah.
Is because when you go out in the atmosphere and you start bullshitting with people, you start drinking faster and you don't really realize it. And then all of a sudden, fuck, I'm drunk. I want to go home.
Then you end
But,
up in Dublin and do a live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it with friends, it's a festive atmosphere. It's a happy drunk. Then you're not sitting there bashing each other. You know.
What? You're not my friend?
Well, sure, but I meant you don't. It's not like you sit around with friends that instead of having a good time together, they jump on each other.
Like
And
a
you
lot
don't-
of my friends in the U.S., they used to come over to my house because I always had fucking beer, and then bitch about the kind of beer that I bought.
Now, you were at a beer house, huh?
Even though it was free.
Yeah, it's free, and then they want to bitch because they don't want to drink PBR. Well,
That-
fuck you. If
Correct
you don't
way,
like
Gary.
it, bring your own.
Gary
Right?
said he spelt it the correct
That's
way.
the way I get it.
Mountain Train Dew.
Oh, I've been down the beer trail a couple times.
Nah.
Gary, I think you spelled it the first
Oh,
same way,
yeah.
didn't you? I can't fucking follow that. Same way, man. What's the difference?
You remember when we were kids, the old guys in the bar would have a shot in a beer all the time?
That's the moneymaker bar like that. Fuck. So you take a $30 bottle of booze and make it more than double. Shot in the beer places are very profitable.
Hey, Kiko, since I know where you're kind of from, you know where the Oasis bar was?
On the Oasis?
I've heard of it. It's out in the middle of a desert in
It's
Pennsylvania.
yeah,
No.
that's
No, it's right on the main drag, Elwood City.
we could
No,
all
they-
visit, drink
they-
together. Don't forget to
They changed the name to something else, but it was always considered the Oasis. It's on the corner there by the hell was that shopping plaza there. It wasn't a plaza, it was just like I think it was MM Mini Mart. They sold gas and all that. Right now, I don't even know it's still there because I haven't been there since 2012.
Did you ever go over to Beaver Falls much?
I went to the bestseller once. Friend suckered me into going down to a friend's house for a party, but I ended up fucking buying the goddamn beer for the fucking party. And
Hey, that's what friends are for, right?
yeah, to leech off of. Look, if you're gonna leech off of me, you should go out of your way. Not for me to go out of my way. But it was okay. And
Just build two ways. None of you need to go out of your ways.
yeah, just stay where now you're at. You'll both be happy. But they won't be happy because they don't have no money to buy no fucking beer.
Mhm.
You know?
Hey, Tony, can you hear us?
I just got back in the room. What?
Did the olive oil kick in?
No, I haven't. I take that before bed, man.
No, I said, did the effects kick in?
No. I had to go piss. Got to piss too, you know.
Oh, okay.
What's
All right,
all
well, fellas,
that,
I got to leave. I got to go to a high school football game to watch my kids in the marching band. So
Go band.
it's a nice warm night. It's probably about 70 degrees, 68. Nice night for high school football here in Western Pennsylvania.
Well, there's a super subject.
Have a good one, Kiko.
Okay, Christian. I liked your video of driving around. You got to go do that more often.
Thank you.
Go Beaver Falls Fighting Tigers.
All
As soon as
right,
he
good
gets
night. Good morning to you, Michael.
Yeah.
Good night, Simon. Good night,
Oh, that
Gary.
sun's still up. What's going on?
Good night, Dennis. Good night, John Boy, Mary Ellen, whoever else. Maria,
Yeah.
whoever's watching.
Alrighty.
All right, Tony,
You take
thanks.
care.
Maybe we'll see you tomorrow if the Patty's around, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right, later.
All right. There you go, Simon. There's a spot for you.
What? Can you only put 4 up there?
No, 6. I'm just kidding. 6. I get 6. I'll expand that. I'll expand that once I get over there for good. But I got my wife sending me over the last 2 documents I need from her, so I'm gonna mail it up. It'll take about 7 days to get here, 10 days. Then I looked up hotels for like flight January 5th, $640, something like that. Half of what everybody else.
Right now, they reduced the quarantine. Okay, this is the latest news that I got. Was they reduced the quarantine to 5 nights in a quarantine hotel. On the 5th
kidding,
day, you're gonna get a PCR test And once it gets cleared, then you can travel to your destination, and then you have to do 4 days quarantine, home quarantine,
Yeah.
and that. No more of that 14-day bullshit.
Okay, but that guy that called the Rizzuto Family Vlog, I started getting on subscribing to him from Chris's channel, and that guy was going through it right now, and they came to his room on day 7, and he had to walk himself down to the conference room where they were doing it. And what was more funny, what was real funny was on his trip to the hotel, the guy stopped at a convenience store to let him go shopping. But anyway, I thought it would take 10 days anyway, Michael, because I have a brother, 2 brother-in-laws that live up there, and also if I don't know whether I'd be allowed to, but I'd like to, if I get out after 5 days, I have 5 left. I'd like to go visit Darrow if I could up there in Angeles.
Well, there's some shots, Gary. Answer your question. I wish you'd highlight my name so that way I know. But
Okay, hold on.
I like it highlighted so that if it's to me,
Believe it or not, I can still understand you.
yeah. But
Wait a minute.
how about if you can prove that you got all the shots? Well, you get a card, and it has to be approved by the WHO, which is the World Health Organization, and it has to be approved by the Philippines. But if you're coming here on a tourist visa, nix. It's not going to work. You can be vaccinated 100 fucking times and you ain't getting in.
Here's how it is over here, Michael.
It's the same whether you're non-vax or vax.
Listen, over here they've had a problem. They have the CDC cards, which people have been stealing and selling them for $5 a card. I have that card, but in addition to that card, like when you get a prescription at Walgreens for a medicine, they give you that printout. I got those printouts from Walgreens, so I got all my shit.
Staple it to that card.
I save everything, man. Everything.
Make a copy of it and
put a
copy of it there. If you actually want to see the original, then
yeah, I got copies of the scheduled days and when it was done and shot 1 and shot 2. But if I ever get a booster shot, I'm going to sit inside a hospital because I was way bad off when I did that. And
I haven't gotten no shots yet here,
and
I haven't got it.
For all those guys that are in Philippines that think they're going to get out of that shit, yeah, they're going to have to. They're going to be forced to. They're either going to have to leave or take it there, or they're out of there. Because it isn't America where you can squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Well, right now I'm sitting on SSRB visa, and I think that's what you ought to do.
Do what?
Don't go for the 13A. Go for the SSRB.
But you told me the other way around.
No, I said SSRB.
Okay, listen. Let me ask you this, Michael. The SRV is all the information all the information I would think they would need from that would be on your DD-214.
Well, yes and no. But if you got a clean medical record, clean
Criminal
police
record?
record, criminal record.
Mm.
Get that before you come. And then what you want to do is it's only going to cost you a $1,500 deposit, and it's a permanent residency. You don't have to do visa runs and all this shit every 3 years.
And
So if you have to go back to the U.S.
so,
to take care of some medical
yeah,
shit, then you can still get back
Some-
into the Philippines.
I had
But
read
on
somewhere.
13A, no, you got to go through all the fucking 9A visa bullshit.
That's what I'm doing right now at the 9A.
Yeah,
Well, listen,
you know how much
Michael,
bullshit that is. So
Michael,
just,
somebody sent me a message once, and they told me, "What are you on that probationary one for a year? Probationary on
Yeah.
a third?"
Yeah.
Okay, they told
you're
me.
on probationary. You can't leave the Philippines for 1 year.
Well, now I told that
Unless
guy.
it's for medical.
I said
Unless
that to
it's
a guy.
for medical.
I said that to a guy that was on the temp one, and he went back to the United States for something. As long as he got back before that thing expired, he was allowed to. All he had to do was show his card at the airport, his passport, and his temporary visa card.
I don't, well,
Because I told him because I heard it like you, and I told him that, and he goes, "No, you're wrong. He just did it." So who knows?
Well, I don't know who's right or wrong, but that's what I was told.
But
You're on a temporary 13A visa. You're on probation for a year.
yeah,
So you don't get all the rights and benefits as a regular 13A visa holder gets.
you
With
don't.
SSRB, then you get it immediately. And you can go in and out without your wife.
How,
If you need to go
Michael.
back.
Michael? How long? Say I arrive there in January. How long will it take for me to process something like that?
Maybe 2 months.
Oh, really? Okay, because I plan on going there from January to July. But they're only giving me a single entry. So my question to that Rizzuto guy was, when they issue you the visa, do you have a certain time period in which you have to use it? You know what I mean? If I put in for it in December and I get it in January and I don't want to leave till March, does it only become active once I use it?
I would think so.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it'd still be valid,
Okay.
even though you stayed less.
Yeah. Well,
But they got all their money that they wanted for you to stay 6 months. They don't really give a shit. They're hurting for money.
I asked Philip that question. I said, look, if they stamped it and sent it back to me and it's December, do I have to use it immediately or can I use it within the next, 3-4 months? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they tell you.
He didn't. His wife had his phone. He didn't answer me back. So, I mean, he's been without his family for quite a while because he had to come back to the States for.
Well, I just I'd emailed JRC in Cebu. That's who I go with, and that's who I deal with.
No, Gary.
And I don't do it for regular immigration renewals or whatever.
Gary's not understanding this here, Gary. I have health insurance here, and if I have an emergency over there, they don't got to know that I've been there. I'm allowed to use my health care from here in an emergency. So if I needed a bypass, I could have that done, and my insurance company would honor it. Beside that, I had planned on coming back here once a year, and I'll be on my wife's Phil Health, which will nobody's ever clear to how much that pays, whether that covers your entry fee or what. I have no idea. That's the question.
Oh, you want to know whether you got to pay an entry fee?
No. See, okay, you are on your wife's Phil care, right?
No.
Oh, you're on your own from the VA?
Yeah, but I don't get no health care here.
Why not? You
Because I'm not service connected disability.
Liz, well, you're missing my point here now, because your wife's a Filipina, so you should be on her Phil Health plan, but I don't know what that covers for foreigners, though.
Doesn't cover shit. It covers the room.
As I heard, that's no longer a rule that if you're married to a Filipina, you can have the health care she have.
No, you can't. What they cut out was called the Z package. The Z package was about surgeries and all that other shit that foreigners don't get no more.
Well, you're not entitled to the same benefits that she can get.
No, I know that.
So you get basic health care.
But what is that?
And it's covered.
What is basic to them?
The room, which is the room. And a little bit of other little bullshit.
You cut your arm, somebody kicks you in the nuts and your balls hurt, that kind of thing they cover. Because I was told that you, whether you want to or not, you have to get a Phil Health.
No, you don't have to have health insurance here.
No, you have to become. Okay.
It's not a requirement here. The only reason I carry my Medicare, and I have Part A and Part B, is because if I do have to go to like Guam or Hawaii to get health care, which is shorter than going back to the U.S. from the Philippines,
right?
It's covered under Medicare, and I don't have to sit and wait for Medicare to enable my rights again. And it only cost me $144 a month, and I can afford that.
Yeah, I got my regular
I
health.
don't have no problems. I don't have no problems. But I'd like to get VA health care, I earned it,
Yeah, we all did, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So, look, you're going to spend about the same amount of money going 13A or SSRV. Okay? So, this is the thing I'm going to tell you, Tony, is you're going to spend about the same amount of money. So for 11,000 pesos, you can get a temporary or probational 13A visa. Okay? But when it becomes permanent, then you got to pay 23,000 pesos.
Oh.
And then it's only renewable. You only have to renew your ID card every 5 years.
With what? Which one?
with the 13A. With the
Yeah.
13A. So you're going to spend about $3,000 either way. But if your wife gets TB and dies, your 13A visa, I think, is null and void because you're not married to a
If your wife,
thing.
if your wife dies, that's it.
You're done. But if you die, then it's done for everybody. It doesn't affect anybody else's life, really. You kind of understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get the drift.
If you can afford $1,500 just to sit in a bank account and not, but you can get that money back out.
So you could close your account. You could close your account after you get your
You want to take your kids back to the U.S. and say, well, I don't want to be a SSRB member anymore. You can get back your $1,500.
You have to give them $1,500 to hold on to.
Yeah.
So tell me, is the renewal of that one cheaper than the 13A, or how does that work exactly for you?
I don't know yet. I'll tell you next July when I go to renew my ID card.
Okay,
That's all I gotta renew. That's
you
all I
gotta
gotta renew. My passport says it's indefinite,
okay.
but the ID card is.
So you don't know what the fee would be yet.
It's like $30, I think.
So if you had the $1,500 you had in the bank, once you got your card now, did you take that money back out?
I can if it's for medical bills or whatever, but you have to replace it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So going the SSRV way, and I think for somebody that's been in the military, that's your best option out of the visas. You can get other SSRV visas,
Are there lesser fees? Are there lesser fees with the SRRV than the 13A?
Huh?
Are the fees lesser money than the 13A with the SRRV? What's the up? The only upside I see now is that I think there's something to do with the entry to the country.
Said, when I went to Tech Levin, it was $11,000 to get a temporary, your probationary 1 year, but you can't leave the country. And they told me that at the Bureau of Immigration, can't leave the country.
For what? On what one?
On 13A.
Oh, really? Okay.
Probationary.
That's what I told you. That guy.
You just come here and it's 11,000 pesos. You pay us 11,000 pesos. You get a temporary probationary 13A visa.
And you only have to check in with them once a year then.
Yeah, but the next year they're going to make a permanent 13A visa. But you got to pay 23,000 pesos.
Every year or just that once?
Just that once.
Okay, listen to me, Michael. How often does the SRRV get renewed?
It's indefinite.
It's indefinite. Oh, so once you got it, you got it.
Yeah.
Is there a
Yeah,
check-in?
ID card is what you gotta renew a year.
Is there a check-in with immigration every year, like there is with the 13A?
No, you don't deal with immigration.
Okay.
You deal with the Philippine Retirement Authority.
Okay. So they're
That's
holding.
why I said go through JRC, and I got mine within 5 weeks.
Okay.
I'll show you my passport.
5 weeks.
You
Huh?
want this?
Yeah,
You
sure.
want this?
Well, yeah. Why not? Appreciate it.
Let me see. What did I got? Oh, I put it down right here.
Gary, while I was looking, that private health insurance, I told you that's $500 a month for me. Forget it. You can use your Medicare there in Guam, Gary.
Yeah, just fly over to Guam. It's about 4-hour flight or something.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
like
about that. About that from Manila. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, just fly out of Manila. But this is what I got.
Yeah. So that's all they. Oh, that laminated.
No, it's
Okay.
stickered on there, but if you look
They
underneath my hand,
they put that
See
right
where
on
it
their
says-
passport.
it says expiry. What the hell does it say after that?
I can't see. It's too blurry. I think I've been drinking. It's too blurry.
It's in
July 27th. Something. July 25th.
That's my
I can't-
birthday.
When does it I can't read the numbers, man.
There
Can't
is
see.
no number on expiry. It says indefinite.
Oh, it does. I don't see that, man. I can't see that.
It's right. This fucking cameras and all this fucking bullshit. I don't fuck with this fucking shit.
Oh.
See right underneath my, well, where the hell is that? Right there.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of
This
small.
line right there, it says
Okay. Yeah.
expiry.
Right.
It's not a date. It says indefinite.
Okay.
They don't have it square with the camera or whatever.
Okay.
But it's indefinite. And it's this thing they put in your passport.
Oh, cool.
And
So
even though I don't have my card, I have that.
So, Michael, when it comes time for you to, after your 10 years and your passport's expired, how do you get that stamp put back into it?
Well, I haven't come to that conclusion because I just got it.
Well, okay. Okay.
I don't know that answer.
Well, I got it.
But I'm sure that the Philippine, the U.S. Embassy will notify the PRA that, look, he's a permanent resident here, and he has to renew his passport.
That's good.
and
That's
all
good
that,
information.
and
One step at a time, right?
I think that they would do that, but I think it's only like $30 a year.
Hmm.
But if your wife was in the U.S., you'd come on Billy Bion.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been a lot better for me because mine.
Then that gives you 1 year stay.
Yeah.
Free.
Well,
or having to deal with the Bureau of Immigration and
that's certainly
that.
what
Not that the people ain't nice there. I've never had a problem with immigration,
Mm-hmm.
but now I don't have to deal with them. But because I thought about getting a 13A because they wasn't opening up the SSRB and I already did 90% of the work.
Well,
So if you have a shyster barangay captain, kind of, well, your stickers won't match.
holy cow.
But my stickers have always been in the Philippines for the last 8.5 years, other than go to Malaysia for a day and come back, make the requirement. I just got the barangay captain. This is how I got it out of the police report, your local police report.
Yeah.
At home. Is I got the barangay captain saying that I was a resident of the barangay. So I didn't have to try to get that from the U.S. And I didn't really want to know about all my DUIs.
Well, all of them. I had one of them back in 1987.
Well, I've had 5 or 6.
Holy cow.
Some were dropped, but the other ones I had to pay for. So
yeah, I got the minimum fine, and that was $1,100 plus all that insurance money they scam you out of for a year. I paid $1,000 a month for liability. That's bullshit.
Oh yeah, that car insurance is fucking ridiculous. I called the bank. I said, "Just come get the car. I'm gonna donate it back to you."
You?
Bank no more payments.
You are?
Because the payments were 3 times as much as what the car payment was.
Yeah.
And I'm not paying it.
That's right, man.
So what they did, they repossessed the car, sold it for more than what I owed, and kept all the extra money, and I was out of the debt.
Yeah, good robbed you, man.
Some things are crazy in life, but I wasn't gonna pay that. If they said $600 a month.
Oh.
Hey, get the fuck out of here. The car payment is $97. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm only driving a Toyota Corolla.
Well, even that, a smart car.
What the fuck? He was, Gary, that guy was probably JR from JRC Consulting in Cebu, right?
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that video. Yep. Yeah, he opened up an office in the city.
That's who I use.
Oh.
But I don't use him. I wasn't using him to do my regular 6-month visa renew. I did that on my end. But SSRB, you gotta have all this other. You gotta have all this other.
Brother Ronald's here.
I'm getting sick and tired of you young ass youngins.
Youngins? Yeah, thank God, man. I'm not the old man anymore. You are. You gotta turn that YouTube on.
Hey, y'all youngins.
Fucking hey, I needed you here bad, man.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I just got finished doing some charitable work. Can a brother do some charitable work?
No.
No, he can't. No. You missed your brother's fucking birthday.
Somebody's got YouTube on, man.
That's Michael.
It's not me.
White
It's not
folks.
me.
Yeah, it
White
is.
folks.
What's up,
No,
big brother
it's
Gary?
No,
It,
Uh,
it is not me.
Is that you, Michael?
It is
Is that
not.
you, Michael?
I didn't
Of
change
course.
anything. I didn't change anything.
You got something else open.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah, somebody.
It
It
damn
didn't happen
sure
till
ain't
you
me,
came.
because I already
It didn't
know.
happen till you came.
I know. But can you hear it?
Yeah.
It's all. It's all.
Yeah,
It's all.
I don't understand that language.
I don't understand that language.
How's that? How's that?
There you
Yeah.
go. See?
No.
There you go.
See?
There you go.
There you go. Wasn't me. I told your
You
ass, Michael.
showed up. You showed up.
You're
I
under
still
now.
hear it.
You're under now. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Now look here. I'm gonna do the same shit I did earlier. I'm gonna back out and come back in. Watch.
Okay, man. Okay, man. Michael didn't touch nothing, though.
I didn't do anything. It was working fine. Look, I'm not echoing.
Yeah, we're
I'm not echoing.
it's not you, is it? No,
No,
of course not.
I was mute all the time, so it couldn't be me.
Yeah, no, that was a stupid question. Yeah.
He's just silent,
3.5
listening.
hours, man. This is
Background.
a freaking marathon for me here, bro. Private chat questions. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I got him. Yeah. See, that goes sorted. Nope. The chat, man. The fucking
Yeah,
chat.
I got a lot of YouTube windows open, but none of them are.
Hey, look at Ronald's got his arms up in the air.
Look at it. Ronald's got his arms up in the air. It ain't fucking me.
Yes, Ronald. Every time you come in,
Yes,
there's
Ronald.
an echo.
Every time you come in, there's an echo.
Hey, how come your echo's
That
right
must be
behind yours
YouTube,
and mine's a
'cause
little
I ain't got-
echo's right
I ain't
behind
got-
yours and mine's a little delayed?
Look, I ain't got shit open.
Okay.
But StreamYard.
Okay.
Nothing open but StreamYard.
Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Okay.
So how is it me?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Other than that, how you feeling
Like
today?
this. Like I
Other than that, how
started.
you feeling today? Touchdown.
Like I started.
Touchdown.
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 Tony, mute.
Tony,
Mute Michael for a second.
Michael, for a
Alright.
second.
Hold on.
Alright.
All right. Hold on. I got it. I got it. All right.
Gone.
Now we talk. 1, 2, 3.
Now we talk. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
I still hear myself in echo.
I still hear myself in echo.
Say that again.
Say
No.
Even
Okay,
if Michael
Michael's
was
on mute.
even if Michael was muted, there was echo here.
Uh-oh. Did Good. Ronald, you muted yourself? Okay. All right, you can use your phone, huh? Okay. Can you use sign language here? Oh, his girlfriend on the phone, maybe? Joanna? Joan? What did I forget her name? Jonah. That's right.
No, it's Kuya Paul on the phone.
Okay. Well, that light's
Y'all
really shining on your
light-
face. That light's really shining on your face.
Says Paul.
Paul F.
Paul F.
Yeah.
All right, F.
I ain't gonna tell you what the
Yeah,
F
yeah.
means.
Could be fuck yourself. Could be fuck me. Could be Fumagami. I ordered myself another. Who'd I tell? Oh, Christian. I ordered myself another GoPro and a gimbal. I like that gimbal so much. You buy that
Well,
gimbal.
you
Buy that gimbal here, Christian. It'd be extra what? What did they charge that tax for that? $50, like the jacket?
am I unmuted now?
No, you're all right.
No, that would be a much bigger tax.
Oh boy. So if I can buy that for $50 less, it'd be I might as well hit my fingers with a hammer, right?
Yeah,
Well, that's how you help pay for the healthcare.
yeah,
Like Canada, cigarettes and tax,
yeah,
alcohol and tobacco
yeah. Same
over
here.
there. Yeah.
In Sweden, the tobacco cost half the price of Norway.
When I went to Canada in 1989, I went into a 7-Eleven there. You know, and it's just like here, only the money's different. And I say to the lady, give me a pack of Newport. Well, that would be $7 $7 Canadian or $2 American. I said, what? Fucking what? Of course I'll pay the two. Shit. 7. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know that they funded their healthcare system with the tax from these things, you know. So they're a preferred country over the U.S. for what do you call it? Immigrants, because their president says, "I'll come on in," but then they enforce the laws, which are contradictory to what he says. So I was talking to a young nurse's aide, my doctor's aide, Spanish young lady. I said, all they want to do is have them sign the paperwork. You know, I mean, you got to be in document. They're allowing people walking through that gate with no COVID tests or nothing. But you have a standard rule here for for citizens, which makes very little freaking sense. But I guess I have to have a doctorate and I have to be a politician in order for them to believe my bullshit.
Read that shit. See how you fucking feel.
Pimp?
Get out the window.
Who's a pimp?
No, I got a mouse.
Oh, your subconscious talking.
I sprayed him with Bygone.
Oh, the cat? Trying to blind the cat, right? You got a cat, don't you?
No, it's a mouse.
No, really.
Little house invader.
So you're supposed to blind them. You're trying to blind them, huh?
Well, I don't know. It kills spiders. Why can't it kill a fucking mouse?
Yeah, no idea, man.
I don't know. We got these great big wolf spiders. They got real long legs. They're really, they can jump like 3 feet.
What's today?
But I don't think they're poisonous. But they're just freaky looking.
Hey, what's the date today?
Your date would be the
Or
9th?
8, 9,
9th?
8.
8.
I thought the 31st was a. Fuck.
But
The 30th was last Friday.
31st of this month was it'll be a Sunday.
Well, last Friday. What was the date last Friday? October 1st.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even write that one down, man. I didn't write that
I got a
one down.
calendar here. It has like last month, this month, and then next month. So I kind of like this calendar because you can see 3 months on one page.
Yeah.
Calendar.
Great discovery, man. Today is 10th. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Must be the fucking 8th. Today's the 8th. I don't even know what the hell I'm looking at, man. Jesus. Terrible. Falling apart, man. Hey, you guys all sit right there, okay? I'm gonna say goodnight to the 3 people that are watching me. But you all sit right there. Don't go nowhere, you hear?
I
Aight? Thank you, the 3 people watching here for joining us this evening. Thank you. And we'll see you next week. And Michael will be here.
Not unless you're gonna boot me out.
No, not you, no. Who got